Okay, let me
Oh,
plug
you
in. I
did?
got a long cord. I pushed the button.
Oh,
I
okay.
am Chit, and that is Chat, because I'm full of chit, and she's not.
Golly, I hope not. Sometimes
No,
I
but
feel like I am.
well, on a couple of when I was putting out the announcement, I'm like Saturday um, chit chat, and then I put and babbling bullshit.
And babbling
Throw
bullshit.
that in. But yeah, so I'm home. And as soon as I can figure out how to switch this camera around without sending me into,
Oh, you probably won't be able to do that though, V.
yeah, I
Not
can.
while you're streaming. Oh, you can?
Yeah, if go
Are you
into,
sure?
yeah, you go into settings,
Uh-huh.
camera. That was easy. Okay. So yeah,
Well,
I
how do you
switched
like
it.
that?
Right, right.
Yeah,
So
okay.
everybody knows
Oh,
my
no.
story. And if you don't,
Well, do a
read the
quick
book.
rundown just in case.
Yeah, read the book because there is a book coming out, but it won't be. It's based on a true story. Just we'll just put it that way, and we'll leave it that way. Anyways, I am due to circumstances underneath my control. However you say that. How do you say that? Why did I say
Beyond the circumstances of your control, I think.
control? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It wasn't
yeah.
like I didn't do it to myself. Which is kind of unusual actually, because usually I'm pretty
Usually it's self-sabotage, but in
I'm
this
pretty
particular
self.
case, it's
Yeah,
not.
I just always f up shit that I do. It seems like okay. I'm just
Well,
sitting there
maybe
phone down.
something different has happened, and this time,
Oh, it's for a reason, and this is the reason. So I have been how do we want to say this? I have been detained in a foreign land for the last 2 months. In a way, I mean, I thought Kentucky was pretty. Yeah, wow. And I was under the supervision. Thank God for B and Darth and being under their supervision because yeah. Um,
mm-hmm.
seriously, I mean, she nursed me back. I mean, seriously, they were amazing. They put up with me, and I mean, it was hard. I mean, I was very, very sick, y'all. I mean, really sick. I'm not going to go into like gruesome details sick, but I mean, to where most people would just say, you know what, just you can't come back here. You're too sick. I can't handle it. Sick. Um,
That would be really shitty if somebody did that, though.
well, I mean, no, but I was really, I mean, it was really bad. I was really sick, and I would get fed up of me.
No, no, no,
You
no, no,
know,
no, no. See, that's not that. That's actually kind of blasphemous, V, because you're
really?
talking about yes, you're talking about the ancient laws of hospitality, and
Okay, you're right.
and on top of that, to kick a sick person out of your home. I mean, a legitimately sick individual, okay, out of your
Right.
home. Well, that's just not Christian.
Well, that's
I
what I
mean,
kind of
being
did to this person. I kicked him out of my home.
that's not the kind of sick we're talking about.
Right, right. So as as the boob of you turns, so for I was in the hospital for 3 weeks. They bless God though, seriously, for West Virginia and their hospital because I wouldn't have known. I mean, I've been told since 2016 I've had stage 3 um, um, whatchamacallit, kidney failure, okay, renal failure, and it was going up stage 3, stage 4. I mean, I've been battling with this for a minute, and that's caused my bladder to extend. Well, they found blockage in my kidneys, so they put stents in my kidneys. They put me on a new insulin. I mean, for
Mhm.
last week was really rough because I was out of insulin, but I mean, we monitored myself. I only got high the HI, that means it's over 500, like 3 times but was able to control it with water and just eating protein, which was really hard to do, y'all. But anyways, managed it, got a huge blessing. My insulin was $397. But
Damn.
the guy at Walgreens, now CVS would not help, not do shit, right? So I went to Walgreens because I knew that like for $25 you maybe get like 75% off or something. Anyways, he goes, no, just come in with your insurance card, right? I said, I don't have my well care. He goes, well, just come in with the number. So I go up there and my sugar is high and I'm shaking and I'm like getting really sick, right? I needed to eat. And I'm just sitting there and I looked like holy crap because I was planning on going at 6 p.m. and our ride calls us at like noon when I'm not even in the shower yet. Hurry, come on. If you want to go, we got to go now. So we just like threw on clothes. I mean, my hair, I mean, we've seen me a mess, right? Y'all have seen me a mess. Okay. Well, now I'm out. I mean, I don't mind to do it and be, you know, in here and goofing around and stuff, but I'm out in public, man. And I'm shaking. I'm trying to walk with my cane and I'm like, anyway, so this dude behind the counter, he's like, okay, all set. And I'm like, excuse me? He goes, yeah, I got all your insurance in. He goes, I said, and he goes, oh, $47 and some change. I said, what?
Well, let's hear it. Walgreens. Shit.
47, yeah, dollars from almost 400. And all he had to do was put my numbers into my insurance. And I was getting the runaround for a minute, but that's okay because all good things come to those who wait. In fact, somebody reminded me that at a gas station on my way, kudos to you, Mr. Guy at the gas station. You know who you are, looking at those little sayings, you know, those little tourist sayings like, you know, don't worry, be happy. And I'm standing there at the counter and this just came to me. And all of a sudden I hear, oh, this is a good one. All good things come to those who wait. And I just now remembered that. So that's important. So anyway, so I got my insulin. I did crash last night really bad, but I think it mixed with my restless leg medicine and I fell off the toity.
Oh.
Yeah, and bunked my nose on a wicker basket. And here comes B, are you okay? And I'm like, there I am, butt hanging out. I'm like, all I did was try to wipe my butt. I passed out. Only me. I'm like, why couldn't it have been like when I stood up and flushed and everything and washed my hands?
Well, that's because your head was down because you were bending over.
Yeah, and I couldn't lift my head up. I mean, it was bad. I was seeing stars like I did before. I did the same thing that I did when I first got to Darth and Bees when I was that. And so I'm like, just check me but I had insulin this time and the new insulin. So none of that happened. I didn't end up back in the hospital. But so they were wonderful, just absolutely wonderful to me. And I just can't thank them enough. I can't do enough for them. You know what I mean? I don't, just my gratitude is overwhelming, and to everybody, to you and to everybody, you know, the Jesters and everybody. Eastland, hey, Eastland. Just everybody has been so supportive to me. You know what I mean? I mean, really, really have. You know, another red shirt. Catman, D.D. Myers, always asking how I'm doing, you know. Cronus, my buddy Cronus, seriously, you know, just and us doing the Wednesday thing has really helped me through like some really rough times. That's been good for me, you know. And so I just want to make this really short. So we're driving, right? And I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, all of a sudden this story comes to me. Okay. And I'm not going to say the details. It's just a story. See my little plate that Ann gave me? Got a little black widow hanging in my window. Just saying. And look what she did with I did these windows right?
Mm-hmm.
And she hung them up beside my window with my purple tree of life. No, great. That's another, that part's coming up. Oh, I got so much to say. I never have this much to say. Hey, Bone, how are you? So anyways, oh, there's my makeup. All my, none of that stuff's going to help today. So anyways, I'm driving, we're driving and all of a sudden the story comes to me. I said, hey guys, because Vic was the driver. Awesome, awesome gal. Gorgeous daughter. Oh my God, I love her daughter. Seriously, she's very autistic, I guess a level 3. I'm not sure what all that means. All I know is she had this fantastic little machine and you push the buttons and it would say like shoes, socks, underwear, you know, blah, blah, blah. And we were sitting there at Burger King. And I'm like, I'll show you how to eat a fry, girl. And I put the fry in my mouth. And I'm like, like a Cookie Monster. And all of a sudden she bends over and she hits the machine, says, weirdo, 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 weirdo. And I'm like, oh, you have no idea, girlfriend, who you are sitting next to. And she just played it and we laughed. And she, oh my God, I love her. But anyway, so I was sitting there thinking about her, woke up at 3:33. Oh, awesome. She's writing a writing project too.
Oh, are we all right having a writing project? That's interesting.
Yes. Awesome. So, you know, I've just been like so bleh for the last 2 months, really. I mean, I haven't really said much on Wednesdays because I just don't even know anymore, you know? And all of a sudden I'm like, hey girls, how does this sound for a story? And I give them like a rough outline of a dream that I had. I had a dream that I woke up. I think I told you all. And I thought I was in the hospital. Then I woke up again and I thought I was in the morgue. Okay, well it's going to be that kind of dream sequence, but it's a murder mystery. And I've never done a serious story. It's always been either dark poetry or something funny, or even my dark stuff turns into something, you know, kind of good at the end. But I've never done something like a serious, because I'm like starting to think of names and I'm like, oh Lord, Nancy, there you go. You can't use these kind of names. You got to, you know, look, you want to be taken serious. So it's going to be a short story. But anyway, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, whoa. And I'm telling the girls and they're like, that's really cool. And I'm like, the first paragraph is so hard and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, Vic says, do something like taste, smell, sight. And I'm like, okay. So, and then I proceeded to say, and it came out really cool, how I said it, right? So, and then all of a sudden I heard, that's why 2 months. That's why 2 days turned into 2 months. You had to be still and give compassion and do what you do, even when you thought you weren't doing anything. Because I thought, you know, how am I? I'm not even, you know, I'm not helping her enough. What can I do? Blah, blah, blah. And all she kept doing was just thanking me and thanking me. And I'm like, girl, you don't thank me. Gosh darn, you know, for what they had to put up with. And anyways, I got the story and I heard that because I was laying there the other night just going, you know what? I am trying so hard. And then I hear this. Well, that's your problem. You're trying. You're trying to obtain something you already have that's deep within. So stop trying and just rely on what you know. I'm like, okay. So I'm home. It was pretty much an uneventful ride, except for one little part, which was a little scary. But when I was sending up my prayers, I got 4 heart clouds. And usually I look for 3. but the little girl was 4 years old, and we were a little concerned about her, and I got 4 heart clots, so I felt okay. But they were, she was in a hurry because she was having baby issues. Just her boyfriend fell asleep working graveyard, and she couldn't get a hold of him. So being a mom, uh, 5 hours away, calling everybody to go check on your baby, and nobody's got the time or day for you, right? So I was a little upset, but things worked out, except for I left my sparkly bag, but that's okay because that's my stripper bag. It's got to be left there. Got a new stripper song too by Rod Zombie. Anyways, so that happened. So I get home and I'm all excited, and I walk into my apartment. Now y'all gotta know this. A friend of a friend of a friend of mine had this problem once where she or he let somebody stay, and he went on vacation and came home in his apartment, kind of like Pacific Heights. Okay, if you guys remember that movie, you remember Pacific Heights?
Nope,
He
never
rents out
watched
the
that.
apartment. Yeah, he rents out the apartment, and the dude just freaking thrashes the shit out of it for no good reason. Anyways,
Oh, you
so this
mean like
friend,
my tenants in my house?
yeah, okay, so pretty much the story goes, it's an extension of Kaythia's. I think that they're relatives. This person and that your tenants. I think that they're relatives or something. Yeah. So without saying much, because I seriously am really trying hard to be not a bitch and not pointing fingers, because I'm just as, I don't want to project that. What's past is past. So anyways, I was expecting to come home to an absolute smelly, disgusting, like, just give me my clothes and let me go out of here house, because that's how bad the videos were. And I walked in to my house, and my neighbor, Ann Rice, yes, you, Ann, the whole time I was gone, she cleaned up my whole entire apartment. But not only did she clean it, she freaking did shit like made me a rack for my shawls. She made that with her hands, right?
Oh,
That's
wow.
okay. Painted this, painted this for me, and made that all cutie. The lamp was mine. She
Well,
put
fuck. 3 cheers for Anne. Holy shit
oh wait,
balls.
I'm not even done, girl. You don't even know. So she did. Oh, sorry. So she did my window. I don't know if you can see well enough. So this is my window. Somebody tried to
Wait.
somebody tried to break in, by the way. But anyway, so she did like my whole little window sills, because I like to change out my window sills. They're my oh, do you need to read that? Anyways, you okay?
Sorry, V. Busy a minute.
Okay, I'll just continue. So anyway, so then a couple oh gosh, right before COVID hit. Yeah. Eastland, I totally agree with that. Write it down. I've been recording it too as I'm going with my story. I just don't want to give it away because I have a problem giving stories away. Anyways, I got these old barn windows, and I went ahead and I stained glassed them, and then I ran out of stained glass stuff. So I used sparkle nail polish. I was bored. It was right when COVID hit. So she put one over there, and then she put one over here, but she decorated this one with my little face and mask and bandana. She did all of this. All of this was not like this. This whole area was totally different. She got me this little table. Those were my feet from my plant. Got me my little TV all set up here. Look at this cool little thing. I love lights. I'm like a lightaholic. So look at that. Can you see him sparkly? Right? She rearranged my whole entire closet. Friggin' did my bed. I mean, you just don't know. So, um, when I got home though, I she told me that there was a hole in my wall. It's the hole in my wall. Supposedly, I sleptwalked and punched this in. But funny how this wasn't here when we went to our 2-day trip to Darth and Butterflies. That wasn't there. But the most amazing thing that she did is I was stupid. And this is like my favorite top, okay? You'll appreciate this, Eastland. This is my favorite top. I don't know if you can see it. I love this top. Well, right around this area here, I spilt wax and paint all over this top. She got my wax and paint out of my favorite top. Who does that? Okay.
Well, somebody who knows their laundry.
Yeah, she did like all my laundry is done. Oh, by the way, there's the hole in the wall
What an asshole.
that I supposedly punched with my little fist when I was sleepwalking. Yeah, okay. Whatever. She rearranged my whole closet. Okay. Just amazing what she did. All of this up here. So I don't like that picture. I'm going to give her that picture. Anyways, so that's my whole bedroom. But not only did she do my bedroom, well, it's a little messy now, but she did my whole friggin' kitchen.
What?
She said, girl, she said that there was paper everywhere, all up underneath the table here. Here's my other, this is my green one. Paper. He would get like paper and crunch it up like paper towels and throw it to go into the garbage. Well, if it didn't hit the garbage, it would go on the floor and he'd leave it on the floor. She said, all my dishes. She goes, where are all your fucking dishes? I said, I don't know. Well, she replaced my dishes with a bunch of dishes. Shit. Yeah, all my dishes. She said, I can't do your fridge though. I'm sorry, girl. I'm like, why? What's wrong with my fridge? She goes, when I open it, I want to throw up. So I come home. He not only unplugged it, I mean, he turned it off, but he left rotting food in like more than normal. So I go home, right, to put my orange juice in. She cleaned out my fucking fridge for me.
Wow.
Y'all, it's spotless. You don't understand. I was thinking I was coming home and it's still a little smell, but that's okay. But when I walked in, she did my whole living room. She moved all my furniture, put a rug down, moved my drafting table, this big old glass metal heavy thing in here.
Mm-hmm.
She made those curtains for me.
Wow.
I mean, I don't even know. I mean, I cried. And
I
all
can
these
see
little
why.
and all these
Shit,
little
that's a lot of
things.
hours. That's a lot of work.
Look at all these cool ass things. And they match so perfectly with my coasters. I had the coasters for a long time. And I'm just like, wow, yeah, it's a lot of work because this was where he was staying. And the top box was like all over here, all dumped. And she made me this up here. And she put all this up. You know, it's just like, except for she typed my lampshade. It's okay. It's okay, Anne. You could have that one with the beads. I'll put beads on this one. But anyways, no, it's really cute. It's red. It's got beads on it, like the white one in there. Anyways.
I think it's a good exchange, though.
Oh, absolutely. And robes. And robes. I'm like, I'm like, where's my other rug? So I go over to her house. I'm like, you got my rug? Yeah, I took it. I took it when he wasn't looking so he wouldn't take it. So she gives me this robe. I had admired this robe because I love silky stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
And I said, oh, look, she gave me this robe. I'm going to have to thank her. And a bunch of new little clothes. And I can't believe she hung that. That's just like something that I had my paints on. as a when you use the paints. Anyways, a palette. Anyways, so I go over to her house and um there's my pink robe with the hood, my favorite effing robe hanging up in her. I said, "Oh, so I see we switched robes." She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I know you like that one." And I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "That one's really special. That robe. I'm so glad that." She goes, "Do you want it back?" I said, "Hell no. It's great for when you get out of the bath. It's terry cloth and got a hood, and I'll tell her later how I acquired it. But so yeah, all good things.
Well, sounds like Anne needs a 21 gun salute's what
I'm
she needs.
telling. I don't even know what to do for her.
I don't know
Ser-
either. I don't know. There's no way to repay her
no,
except
and she.
undying gratitude.
But
Really.
and you know what the crazy thing is? She looked at me like, "What do you mean?" I said, "It's really, really hard to find really good friends, and I've got a handful of them. A lot of them I have not even met personally."
Yeah.
I said, but when me and Ann met, everybody's like, "Oh, Ann's gonna kick your ass. She's not gonna like your little West Coast attitude." And I'm like, "Let her try to kick my ass." "Oh, you don't know I mean, I heard all this stuff. Oh, Ann's such a badass and this and that." When I met her, sweetest girl ever, ever.
Yeah, isn't that funny how that
But
happens,
she'll kick a
V?
mother. But she'll kick a motherfucker. I said, "But you don't understand. I'm not a motherfucker. She's not going to kick my ass. Or she's going to kick you." No. Why?
No,
Because I'm
she's
not a
probably not.
motherfucker. I'm not one of them that is going to push somebody's buttons. I mean, why would I go up and meet somebody and want to fight them? I don't even have that kind of mentality, you know?
Um,
But
hmm.
I guess some people,
Some people are just
people,
mm,
I guess. So,
let's call them low vibrational.
okay. Okay, you're right. But she looked at me, she's like, "Well, I mean, first she said, 'Well, I wanted to show you how much I loved you.'" And I'm like, "But you, you've gone like beyond." She goes, "You could not come home to your apartment, Nancy."
There's a
She said,
song. I'm hearing a
"You could
song.
not. There's no way that you could come
I'm
home."
V. I'm hearing a song. It's really
Yeah.
old.
A
Um,
what?
it's a song. It's a song. It's a song. It's a song. I'm hearing a
Oh,
song.
sorry. Okay.
Um, um, fuck. Da da, we three something something from the Low Country. Something something parlez-vous français abentui fucking something. Damn it, what is that song? I know that song. I can sing it, and the words are there. The tune is there, and it's just out of reach.
Can anybody put that in Google? I could Google it if I could figure out how to fucking use my
We
tablet.
three, we gentlemen three, something about from the Low Country. Um, it's French. There's a French line about pardon moi,
Huh.
a vous en prie, um, something fucking damn it, I know that song in 2 languages. What's wrong with me? It's these three guys, and they are musicians from the Low Country.
Okay.
Pardon us and thank you very much. We're just passing through. Something like that. It's something like that, but it's a very old song. Now, there must be some message in it.
Yeah.
I can sing that song in 2 languages. Why can't I remember it now?
I do not know. There she is. There's the star. Watch out.
I don't
There
know.
she is. You see your face. The shadow's there. Right? Everybody had to see you. There's my Anne. You look beautiful.
Vous en prie.
Well, not now that you pointed that
That's
out.
it. Pardon-moi,
Kaythia is.
et vous en prie.
Pardon-moi.
Yeah, pardon-moi, et vous en prie. Oh, God. Damn it. This is going to bug me forever. Je vous en
Don't
prie.
let it bug you. Can we Google it? Where?
Is somebody,
Which
please,
password
for the
do I use
love
where it
of
says
everything
PIN?
holy,
PIN?
somebody Google that. Pardon-moi.
Google it.
And a je vous en no. Et vous,
Pardon-moi.
et yeah. Pardon-moi, et vous en prie. Now that's like several different words. So pardon and then moi, which is O-M-O-I. E-T is the next word. Vous is V-O-U-S. E-N is the next word. And then en prie is a whole different word.
Yeah. So why, if you just Google the 3 letters.
Yeah, it should pop up. It should pop up. And something about 3 gentlemen and from the Low Country. That those keywords should pop straight up.
Oh, no, I haven't like that. No. Yeah, those should pop up.
Yeah, it's a very old folk song. It's sung in France and it's sung in England.
Yeah. France and England, and you know it in 2 languages and you can't think of the song.
Yeah, yeah. I used to sing it all the time.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about? Girl, you need to get it together. No, I don't. I'm on probably. I was talking about it. Yeah, it's in there. Nobody Googled it?
Nope.
And I can't get this to accept the.
I would have to actually like shut everything down just to get into Google because I still have I don't have my rig up yet.
Aha.
Well,
Okay.
I have to rewire my.
So what is the 3? Right, can you write it in private chat and I'll copy it and put it in Google? That'll be faster.
I want to say it's we 3 gentlemen be. No, that can't be right.
Yeah, where did I put the other purple one?
All right, fine.
I love that. That was the first thing I showed everybody. I showed everybody the apartment. I said how grateful I was, and then I cried. Because I love it. Yeah. And I told them about my everything. How did you see it? You like your hat? Yeah. Where'd you get that from? Somebody was throwing some stuff away. Guess whose hat that is? Damn it. Oh, they were throwing it away. Mm-hmm. Did you get it in there?
Hold on.
Okay. I'm trying to. Oh, right. So here. So I need to put the password in here. You don't even notice the lamp. Yes, I do. Oh no. What the fuck? I put mine. I got one. I put this lamp in here. Which didn't you want that? Yeah, but I want to get. I want to get a lamp. I got nice lamps around here. What happened to that? You know what? It would look good in that wood one. Did you buy the wood one from Turd Fart? Ow. It's this done.
Why can't I remember that damn song? This is going to drive me insane.
All the way around your room.
I don't even think there's anybody there.
That lights.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what, I'm going to be right. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I see
Just go
it
ahead.
in private chat. Okay.
Yeah. We be gentlemen three. No. We 3 gentlemen be. Lately up from the low country.
Lately up from the low country.
Pardonnez-moi, je vous en prie, and nary a word from no one. God, this is gonna bother the shit out of me.
Yeah. Why am I having a problem copying? Damn it.
Figures. You know what? I'll be right back. This is ridiculous.
Okay. You do that. And here I is. Yeah, it is too high for me. It's even too high. But you don't understand. It was not there when I left that hole because Anne was taking care of the cat. And the cat, yeah, he had it covered up. He had it stacked up. He had it stacked up. So it looks like this. The brown one. Yeah, I know. So we have to like, Chris is over here. It's large. Here's my neighbor. Ann is here. I think we're gonna go on Applebee's or yeah, I'm gonna just, I don't know. I'm gonna go where you go. Well, we're just gonna. You want to eat out? I'll put your Hoochie things in here. My Hoochie's in there. Your Hoochie skirts. On the Hoochie skirts. Dressed up and go out. I'm not dressing up. Yeah, that I was here before. Yeah, but it's yeah, it's really long. I just saw it. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, they were want to get dressed out, up and go out. No, I got them dressed up. I put some makeup on look good. What? I said I put some makeup on look good. Yeah, I want cocktails. We want cocktails. What do you think? Okay, there's one person, 2 people watching. A one, get up, get makeup on, get dressed, go out, have a couple drinks, buy my friend Ann a couple drinks and a nice dinner. Or 2, go get margarita mix, make them here. Go get margarita mix, make them here, and whip over to whatchamacallit restaurant right there and get us some Mexican food. Okay. Or steak. And steak and ribs. Ooh, steak and ribs. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Want to put those on there? It'll go through the rings. No, the thing will go through. Because I was going to take that door off. We're redecorating. Stay home, eat in. Okay, what about the margaritas? Yeah, but you know how I make the margaritas. Okay. And you got a blender too. Yeah, and oh, I got a juicer too. I can go jinky with it. Okay, you go jinky with it. Whatever you want to do. Yeah, that would make me feel better. It's my day home. Don't it feel weird being home? It feels super weird being home. Hey. I kissed my bed. Did you? Yes, I kissed my bed. Did you see how clean your stove and everything is? No, you don't even know. I cried. I didn't actually cry. No, I cried because tears of joy because I can't believe you did. I mean, it's like, it's really good to know you got good friends, like I told you. Well, and one day, it goes the other way. Well, if you were looking at you, yeah, I'm debating. I might get sheer. Or I could. Or brown sheer. Let me think. I can't think of that. I got a white. You're thinking cap? Yeah. But I do because I want this door down. I don't know. It was here. Maybe it's in with the blanket. Oh, these. So, anyways, that's my story. I guess. I found my spray paint. Oh, yeah, now we're staying home because I found my spray paints. I found my girl picture. I don't know why this is in here. Oh, it's good to be home. It really does. So, a little bit of my story. I don't know what the title's going to be. There she is.
Hello.
I missed my chat. I'm chitting over here without
I'm
my
sorry.
chatter, and now we've
I
decided to
figured
make
it out.
margaritas and go get food, and
I,
now
I
we're
figured it out.
redecorating. Okay,
I figured
good,
it out. Okay.
good.
We be soldiers three. Pardonnez-vous, je vous en prie. Lately from the low country, and not a penny of money. So it's called We Be Soldiers 3. Look that up.
Be what, Soldiers 3?
We be, we be, we
We
be,
be Soldiers 3.
we be Soldiers 3. Pardonnez-vous, je vous en prie. Pardonnez-moi, je vous en prie. Lately from the low country, and never a penny of money. It's a drinking song. That's what I know. But basically, it's about, hey, we're great soldiers. We're back from the low country. We might be poor, but we're the greatest people on earth right now because we've survived this war.
Right.
That's what the message is. You may be poor, but you are currently kings.
Hey, you know what? There's kings and queens in poor countries too. It doesn't matter. I don't feel poor. I never have felt poor. All my needs have always been met, no matter what kind of situation I'm in.
That's not that. No, V. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a noble heart. It has nothing to do with money. The nobility of heart.
No.
No, the nobility. You can be poor in heart and in spirit and in mind and everything else. But if you are noble in your heart and you're noble in your deeds, you're never poor. It's a song of chivalry, V. Anne is very chivalrous. She's a queen in her heart. I cannot. Are you there?
I'm here. Sorry. Anne was leaving. I had to say bye-bye.
Oh.
Until we're going to. Well, I wanted to get dressed up and go out, but she doesn't want to. So we're going to go get margarita mix. And I told her whatever she wanted to eat for dinner.
Okay.
Yeah. Applebee's, 2 for $27. I don't care if she want to go to Logan's right now. Seriously.
Are you gonna wait? Are you gonna stop the stream to go do?
No.
Oh.
Hell no. I can take you with me. I'm in Frankfurt now.
Why would you do that?
What? To go pick up food?
No, because you're.
I wouldn't break up.
If you say.
I've live streamed before, tootling around.
Okay.
Well, we'll try it. I can, because I got my own. I don't need a Wi-Fi. I have my own in my phone.
Oh, a hotspot.
No, I've got my own internet in my phone.
A hotspot.
And I got my own hotspot too. Yeah, if I need it. Yeah, I don't have to run off my Wi-Fi here. I'm just trying to get my tablet to work because I was excited to have it, but there's always tomorrow on Supernatural Sunday. Oh my God. I didn't think I'd be this cheerful, but okay. All right, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. First thing I did when
Well,
I came home was smoke some weed, okay? Boy,
okay.
does it make a difference with my pain. That's all I gotta say. One
Mm.
little hit of weed takes my pain away like nothing else can. And it doesn't make me hungover. It doesn't make me want more or go out and want to
Mm.
go a Viking, you know?
I prefer CBDs. I really
Me
do.
too.
It's cheaper. It's more
Hmm.
plentiful. I can order it online whenever I want. I'm not going to get in trouble for it. It does
Right.
everything I need it to do.
I love the gummies.
Plus I just can't smoke anymore. Now I
Yeah,
used to smoke, okay?
that's
But
right.
I can't. I'm not even well, okay, so I had I had a trip to Amsterdam, you see.
Oh, girl.
And well, I smoked
Come
way too much
on.
and then I ate too much.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
So now I
you
am
got,
sensitive to marijuana now.
well,
So I
sure.
can't
And the
have it.
stuff they have over there is more, isn't it more like
Oh,
hashish?
what? No, they've got everything. They've
But
got
I'm just
everything.
saying,
I mean,
yeah,
it's been
everything in
legal over there for
moderation.
decades.
Yeah, I've seen people get sick off of smoking too much weed.
Oh yeah.
I don't like to be stoned. Oh, yeah. I do not like that at all. I don't like that feeling. I don't want the munchies. I just want to alleviate some pain. So if I just take like a little hit, and trust me, they've named bong hits after me. They're called Nancy hits. And they're itty
Okay.
teeny, teeny weeny beanie. And everybody still laughs at me. They say, "Oh, do you still take Nancy hits?" Yeah, because I don't smoke to get stoned. I smoke to alleviate the pain. I can take 6 Tylenol and be in pain 2 hours later. Well, six is an awful lot to take, but you
I
know,
think that has to do with your pancreas.
right? Or aspirin, or ibuprofen, or even like pain pills.
Hmm.
Within an hour or two, I'm back into pain. Weed, for some reason, and the CBD, and I'm a distributor of full spectrum CBD with the Reiki herb in it,
Hmm.
but they've
Hmm.
got it on whatchamacallit, they've got an EPO on it because it comes from China, the herb.
Hmm.
Yeah. So they
Well, I mean, they were putting lead in their toothpaste, so yeah, I would be questioning that too. Sorry, Evie. I know you don't want to hear that, but
no, but why? For an herb, for a mushroom that grows?
well, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the mushroom. What matters is how do they make the extract? How do they make the oil?
They
What else are they
they
putting in that they're not telling you?
Success by Health gets the ingredients, and they is an American company, FDA approved. Okay,
Hmm.
my friend knows way more than I
Okay, well,
did.
how are they growing the mushroom then?
They're getting the mushrooms, the herb from China, or what am I allowed to say? The Orient now? What am I allowed to say? Orient? I don't know. Or do I
You
say
can
Asia?
say Asia, you can say China, you can say Oriental
Okay, because
if
somebody told
it's
me I
in its
couldn't say
Orient.
Oriental
Oh,
anymore.
they're full of horse shits, what they are.
Real,
That's
yeah.
what the Orient is. It's
That's what I
Japan,
thought too. And I wouldn't
Korea,
think
Vietnam.
somebody would get offended by, I mean, it's like, where they,
Anybody
where,
that gets offended by the word Oriental has not read a book in the last 100 years. There is nothing. Uh, there is
anyways,
nothing. There's no negative connotation to the word Oriental.
right.
It describes a geographical location on the
That's what
planet
I thought.
Earth.
Right. That's what I thought too. But so, anyways, what I'm saying is, why do you have to have that if you have a full spectrum already? If you have a full spectrum CBD oil that works, and I'm telling you, it works as a topical. It works as because I've had it. I'm a distributor. You know, Yeah, but this isn't, never mind. Anyways, so I can't get my hands on the good CBD right now, which upsets me because they want to charge you for, you know what full spectrum is. Full spectrum means they take nothing out of the CBD and they put nothing in. It has just enough THC to be very minimal, to be legal, but you will test positive for THC. So, what does this mean? Facebook calls inhale speech if you say weird. Weird and what?
I don't know what that means.
What
Weird
does
and
that mean?
nationality in the same sentence. So basically, if
Oh,
you say the word weird and a nationality after that, then you would automatically get banned. That's stupid. That's stupid. That's just
so if
stupid.
I said the
This whole
weather's weird in
politically correct
China,
movement thing, this is what I'm
no,
thinking. This whole politically correct
this
thing
bullshit.
is a way of trying. It's basically a polite way of oppressing the public.
Wow. So
I think that's what it is.
if I said the weather in China is weird,
Oh, you'd be banned.
I'd be banned.
Because you use the
What
word
if I
weird
said the weather in
and the word
Kentucky
China
is
in the same
weird?
sentence.
Aha, would I be banned too?
Oh, well, no, because, there's a whole bunch of white people in Kentucky, so Kentucky doesn't count.
Okay, Kentucky doesn't count.
Double
Let me
standard,
see.
honey. Double standard.
How about if
Remember
I
that.
say the cars in North Las Vegas are weird? Oh, why? Because that's generally a
I
low
don't know.
income area. Would
Is
that
it?
be?
I wouldn't even know that.
See, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't
No,
know.
yeah.
Only people from North Las Vegas would know,
Well, do
or
you
from
really
Vegas
think
would know.
anybody from Las Vegas would be like, Nancy, you can't do that because
Right?
that word oppresses and triggers me? I
Well,
mean, seriously, do you think?
oh, please. I've heard enough about being triggered because that's how I got left in Cucamonga. Okay.
Oh, no, that was just him giving himself an
Well,
excuse.
I heard the story that he told Anne. Seriously, well, she triggered me for two. I said, Chris, first of all, when we went, I said, we are going to need to get separate hotel rooms because I snore a lot. You know, I talk in my sleep. You know, I said,
Everybody knows that you talk in your sleep.
yeah,
Anybody who's been on this stream knows that you talk in your sleep, you snore, you also sleepwalk.
yes, but I do
Okay,
not punch
everybody
holes
knows that.
in walls. I said, if anything, I'd get a knife and stab at mother. I don't punch. I don't damage property. I just damage physical. No, I'm joking. Disclaimer, disclaimer. Hurry up. Disclaim that. But yeah, so wow.
No, he was just being a dick.
Oh, look, I said it was weird that Australians have a car that likes tea in the ocean, a car that likes to swim in the ocean. Oh.
Oh, a cat.
And you got banned from Facebook for that? I know. You know what?
I think there
Trigger,
should be
trigger,
an
trigger.
anti-movement, to tell you the
I
truth.
think, yes,
This
there should be
whole
an
bullshit.
anti-trigger movement.
This is now,
Ugh.
yeah, this is now oppression.
It's out
This
of
is
hand.
now oppression. It is out of hand. I'm not going to keep track of 3,000 different genders. I'm not going to do it. You can't force me to do it. I do not recognize a Black
Right.
Hawk helicopter as a gender. Fuck you. I'm not going to do it. I was talking to my son about this. Now my son is
Nuh-uh.
gay. Okay.
Nuh-uh.
And
A Black
what?
Hawk. What?
Yes, that is on the list. That's the reason why I brought it
Oh,
up. I'm not
Honda.
shitting you. I was talking to my son about this. My son is gay, okay, and he lives with his partner,
Right.
and he was coming at me, and he's like, Mom, I'm really sick of this gender list. Okay,
Wow.
I want to remind everybody that my son is gay.
Right.
Okay,
Well,
my son
sure.
he's also a cross dresser. Okay, he's interested in drag. He's interested in exploring his femininity, and
So,
I'm totally for that. I mean, it's
right?
nothing. It's no different than what I did when I was exploring my masculinity, because there was a time in my life I did seriously think about being. I basically, it was, I got so fed up with men that I was going to transition and I was going to show men that they were just a bunch of dipshits and that a trans woman did a better job at being a man than they did.
Huh. You know,
Seriously, that was part,
seriously, when I
yeah,
was
that was
young,
part of
I
my
always
problem.
said, I always said to everybody, because I was so mousy and everything,
Uh-huh.
I always said, man, I would make a friggin' gorgeous dude, but
I did make a gorgeous
I
dude. You never saw
don't
my
like,
MySpace account.
I don't like women,
That
you
was my
know?
problem too. I didn't like how men were behaving, but I didn't want to sleep with women because I didn't like what they were doing,
So
because they were
then,
using their sex.
right?
But it's
I just don't like women,
this is how I ascended beyond my gender. I'm like, this, it doesn't even matter. A dipshit
right?
is a dipshit regardless of whether they're born with a vagina or a penis.
Or,
That's
right.
it.
Thank you.
That is
Thank
it. That
you.
is the end and
That is
the
it.
beginning
You're
and end of it.
right.
But my son comes to me and he says, I've
Easy.
been exploring this gender list. Now that's because he was looking for identification of his own. Because, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, he's gay and he doesn't want to transition, but he is exploring his femininity. He doesn't feel like a drag queen. But on the other hand,
Why can't we all be
he's,
humans? Why can't we
and
just be humans?
I don't know. He was just looking for identity. Okay.
Right.
Now this is normal when you're talking about young people. Young people look for this identification. It's normal. It's perfectly
Right.
fine. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
so he goes and he finds the official gender list. There is an
Uh,
official gender list now. And on that list, somebody identified themselves as a Black Hawk helicopter and got it official.
I'm sorry. OMG.
Yeah, I identify as a Black Hawk helicopter, so you have to
Okay.
refer to me as Itzy. I don't
Itsy?
know. Yeah, I don't know. The fact of the
Oh my
matter is
God.
that if you look like a man, I'm going to call you he. Even if you're a girl and you don't identify as a man, if you look like a man, I'm going to call you a he.
You
Guess
know,
what?
unless you look like a
That's just
friggin'
it.
cyclops or a friggin' a space something that is not like us, that's an alien, I'm calling you a human. Hey,
Now,
human.
a, a
That's
few years ago,
seriously. Why can't we
when
just be
um
human? Jeez
when I
Louise.
was I was heavy duty into the furry movement. Okay, I
I
was a
still
big
don't
time furry. Now
understand.
I was not as I call myself furry light. Okay, because that stuff gets pretty nasty and pretty dark.
Yeah.
And I saw where it was going, and I'm like, ooh, no,
As
we're
my
just gonna back
naive
out of that.
self found out, I was just like, I didn't know that
Yeah,
existed.
back out quick. Now, there are people in the furry community who they don't refer to themselves in a gender. So the proper pronoun is Z or za. Now, this is funny because there was an argument between the E and the A. Because in French and in Spanish, men, it's le,
All right.
and for females, it's la. So if it's a girl, it's law whatever, law
Okay,
whatever. If
so
it's a boy,
why?
it's le whatever. Same thing in Spanish. So this American language of pronouns is still
Uh,
stupid.
hmm,
It's still stupid.
huh. I,
Labeling
we're just
yourself is
what
perfectly.
are you? Are you a human or are you a feline or are you a canine? Oh, that just
Oh
opens up a
no, it
whole
got
new.
much deeper than that. It got much deeper than that. If
Uh,
you were an let's say an androgynous avian,
Okie doke.
which means you have no
Androgynous.
gender.
Okay.
You refer to that person as one. That
So we're
one.
going back to
That
numbers.
one. Yeah, and it's stupid. And remember, this is a few years ago, so this is all fucking text. Nobody's actually speaking. You're writing this out. Look, it is easier for me to go HE than THATONE. Oh, and there's a space in between that.
Well,
I'm not gonna do it.
Just a 0 because I'm a geek and a nerd. So I'm
I don't
just a
see how
0.
that. Okay, but
It's a
the
joke
point.
between me and someone. We're
Okay,
zeros.
but
There's
the
a song
point.
about being a 0 too. No, and 0 is the
The
best
point
number.
I'm making here is that this young movement of identification will not last. It won't. Okay. What is happening here is that these young people are basically exploring their identity. They want to be unique. And so they're looking for these labels. And if they can't find one, they're going to make one up and try to make it official.
Right.
And then they're going to try to browbeat their elders into using it. The truth here is that in 20 years, that label that you give yourself now isn't gonna mean jack shit, because you're going to be working so hard, you're not going to have time to think about it. You're going to be worried about how you're going to be paying bills and taxes.
Oh, no.
That's what you're going to be worried about. You're not going to be worried about whether or not somebody used the right pronoun. You're going to be worried about your changing the tires on your car, making sure you've got food in the refrigerator.
Don't you just have to show up? Don't you just have to show up for your entitlement? Oh, you don't? You have to work?
No, wait a minute. No, showing up does matter.
No, I was being very sarcastic.
Oh, were you? Oh, okay.
Yes, because it was we're having a pizza party if everybody shows up for school. Why are you getting rewarded for something you're supposed to do anyway? So I should reward you for going potty? Mm-hmm. Oh, here's a goodie. Your entitlement. No. I'm supposed to show up. Oh, am I supposed to work too? Frig.
Okay.
I'm just talking about some younger people.
Well, I'm talking about identity and labels of identity. Mm-hmm. Okay, this isn't any different from what we've seen in history. If anybody has actually read a book or watched a historical documentary, they'll know that, guess what? You're not unique in what you're doing. You're just not. There have been thousands and millions of people who have come before you labeling themselves just like you're doing now. And 20 years, 30 years down the line, they stopped caring because that shit doesn't matter. Okay. Right. When I looked at my mom and said, Mommy, I'm going to be an astronaut when I grow up. My mom looked at me and went, yeah, honey, that's okay. Mm-hmm. Because tomorrow I was going to look at my mommy and say, Mommy, I'm going to be a truck driver. And she would have said, okay.
It's true.
It is true. It is exploration of identification, identity. What do you want to be? Young people don't know. They're stupid. All of them. Every single one of them. And it doesn't matter how many degrees they have. It doesn't matter how much they work. They're stupid because they don't have experience.
Exactly.
Okay? Once they figure out, you don't really figure out who you are until you're fucking 40.
Right.
That is human development classes. Take one. Not UV. I'm just
no.
For the general.
It's like it's basically like this. Look, you don't have to stick with, okay, well, I want to be an interior designer. So I go to school, I become an interior designer, right? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden it's like, I want to be a writer. I'm a writer now. But I thought you were an interior designer. No, now I want to be a writer.
Yeah, so and think about all those hours.
Right.
All that money that you spent going to school And now suddenly you don't want to do that.
Right. And that's
Maybe
okay. But you don't
it is
understand. But
okay. Do you know how many jobs Van Gogh had before he became an
oh,
artist?
please. And the best jobs to have are working with the public, I
Yeah.
found.
Oh,
Going
do you
through,
know who else was that way too?
huh?
Christy Alley. Christy Alley
Really?
grew up in Wichita, Kansas, right here in Kansas, okay?
Uh-huh.
She had like 25, 30 jobs that she
Oh,
did before she went to California to be a fucking actress. She
I got
even said so.
nailed. I used
And
to get yelled at for that. You switch jobs. I said, because you know what? I get bored. What does it say? Where does it say in the rule book
let
of
me
life?
tell you a
I have
quick
to stick to the same job for 30 years and then
no,
get
no, no, no,
fucked,
no. That's a boomer thing. No,
right?
no, 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 no. That no, no, no. That whole idea about having one job and sticking to it with for the rest of your life, that is completely 100% from one generation of humanity, the
Right.
boomers. That's
And I'm a
no other
boomer. So why
generation
do
that
I
came
not think
before them
I
had
never,
jobs like that.
right? But I
None
never
of
thought
them.
that way. And I'm a boomer, 62.
It
Okay.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're going to hear that from the people who lived through the 50s because that was the golden age of America. It was
Right.
after World War II.
Two.
Okay.
Right.
We had come out as the winner. Our economy had stabilized. Okay.
Yep.
We were able to go out and get a factory job that we could keep for 30 years. And the
Right.
longer we kept that job, the more money went up and 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 up.
Right.
Before that, humanity never had that.
Right. Right.
Never. Not even in Victorian times. In Victorian times, you were lucky to get paid 3 pennies a week.
Right. Right. You're right. You're right.
Do you know how much bread cost in Victorian times? If you could find bread that was actively made completely out of wheat flour, because sometimes they would put chalk or alum into the flour to cheap out to get money, to make profit.
Huh. Well, yeah, we won't talk about factory stuff, okay? I
The
don't want to get on
point
that
I'm
tangent.
making here is the entitlement, the real entitlement is the people. Basically, it's my parents' generation. I'm sorry, V, but your generation. Well, I don't know. You're yeah, you're on the very ass end. I mean, you are like really super on the ass end of that.
I know.
But deep in the center of that boomer culture,
tell me about it.
That's where the entitlement is.
That's where my friends are at. And let me tell you something about
Gen
that.
Xers.
They would laugh at me. Where's your retirement? Where's your 401k? Where's this? Where's that? I said, where's your life? You don't have a life, right? I said, you're sticking with this certain company, merged with another company. I said, this company's going under. What do you think they're going to do to you? Oh no, I've been here 30 years. Pension gone. Okay. I'll mention the name. Fucking Disney. People there that I know in the industry, bam, gone. DC, bam, gone. Warner Brothers, bam,
the big company there in Texas that took out everybody's pension and left people homeless?
Right. And everybody laughed at me. And I'm like, but you know what? How are you going to survive? Well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to survive. And
that's because none of them knew what a Ponzi scheme was.
And not only that,
and if anybody had done any kind of historical research, even just minimal, they would have known what a fucking Ponzi
barter
scheme
system. I said, don't you know the barter system? You need toilet paper. You got some extra chicken. Trade your chicken for some toilet paper. Never thought about that. Yeah. You want to know some other stuff? I'll show you how to make a friggin' meal for every kid on this block with what I have in my cupboard. And there's like 4 things in my cupboard. How do you do that? It's called goulash. Yeah. And that's the trade-off. And I like that trade-off because you know what? I can survive. It's like that movie. Did you see that movie?
I don't know. I don't know about the whole survival thing. I mean,
because you know what happened to these people's 401ks? What happened to all their retirement? They still got knout, and now they're losing their homes, they're losing their cars, they're losing their minds because they've been at one job forever. They have no other skills. I could go and get
that 401k and all of that stuff that they've been saving, all that money is going to go to the pharmacy companies when they
Right.
go
Thank
to get
you.
their medicine when they're old.
Hello.
There's no money for the next generation. It's gone.
Nope. And now that even the Social Security, okay, seriously, we were supposed to get our Social Security at 55. You know, it's up to 62 now. And guess what the age cutoff for hiring
They're
somebody?
talking about increasing it back up to like 65 or 72 now, too.
Oh my God. See, and so you have to work longer, harder. So even those in retirement have to come out of retirement. Okay, so you're out of retirement. What are you going to do? You think somebody's going to hire you as CEO of a company? No, you're going to be a janitor. I'm too good to be a janitor. Well, if you want fucking food in your stomach, you're going to have to friggin'. That's what I mean by entitlement. And you're absolutely right. That generation is like that. And I don't want to laugh, but I told you so. I was like, I
That
told you so.
generation damaged our economy so badly.
Mhm.
It's going to take 6 generations or more to fix it.
Yeah.
That's why the Gen Xers are so pissed off.
Pissed. I know. And I don't
we
blame
had
them because they
no
got to
chance.
clean up. They have to clean up our mess. I have to associate myself with a boomer, I guess. They don't want to clean up that mess, but yet
they don't even want to admit that they did anything wrong.
Right.
I mean, I can tell you that my parent right now doesn't want to admit anything is wrong.
No.
She wanted to argue with me about how I was crazy. Okay, because I told her we got into an argument about the truck. Check this out. This is what I have to put up with. All right. So I'm not going to give you the background of the truck, but basically,
I know the background of the truck.
Oh, I know you know.
Yeah.
So I call her about the truck. Okay. Now, and I asked her, I say, is it done yet? And she's like, oh yeah, it's done. I found out yesterday, and you guys can come pick it up anytime. It's ready to go. And I said, okay, great. She goes, yeah, just about everything's been replaced in it, except the cigarette lighter. Okay. Now there was more to that. I'm just giving the highlights. Anyway. Right. And I was like, what? Did he replace the radio? She says, it doesn't have a radio in it. I said, yeah, it does. It's got a radio in it. She goes, no, it doesn't. Yeah, it does. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Okay, woman. So what you're telling me is that when I drove that truck from Paris with the radio on to Paris and then back from Paris, the radio wasn't on. That was my imagination, and I had an internal chip in my brain that was playing that music. And actually listening to that radio, you're telling me I'm crazy. You never drove to Paris.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, hell no, we ain't doing this. Okay, woman, so you're telling me that I did not drive that truck to Paris to get the tires put on it, to replace the back windshield, and to replace the front windshield. You are going to tell me that I can't prove with receipts that you didn't spend $900 to replace these things. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right then. Okay, all right, sure. Okay, sure. We're going to, okay, fine. You forgot about that. That's no problem. And then she goes, well, wait a minute. If you drove that truck to Paris and back with the thermostat in reverse, because the truck was sabotaged, okay? If you drove that truck to Paris, it wouldn't have made it to Paris because the thermostat was put in upside down. And I said, what do you mean? I drove it all the way to Huntington before it broke down. Because I was only like I was between 3 and 5 blocks away from my sister's house when the truck seized. It just seized. It just quit. Right?
Right.
I was not that far from my sister's house. Okay. All right. I said, what are you talking about? I went to Paris first, and then I went to Huntington. And that's when the engine went out. She goes, you would have never made it to Huntington. I said, well, bitch, I did. Do we need to go on that one too? She goes, no, it never would have made it to Huntington. I said, it made it almost all the way to Misha's house. Well, you couldn't have made it to Paris then, because Paris is further away than Huntington.
Oh my
Paris
God.
is 40 miles. I said, Paris is not 40 miles from Camden. Paris is not 40 miles from Camden. Look it on any map. Anybody watching this, go to Camden, Tennessee. Look up Paris, Tennessee. It's a straight shot north on Highway 641. It's not 40 miles away. Okay? It might be 25. But it sure as hell ain't 40 miles. She goes, Huntington's closer. I said, no, it's not. Huntington is not closer to Camden than Paris is.
Is she thinking Huntington, freaking West Virginia or something?
No, there is a Huntington, Tennessee. Huntington, Tennessee is west of, I don't know what the she's thinking. And she's a truck driver. She ought to fucking know better.
Wow.
I can prove it on my stupid whatnot mileage-ometer, whatever the fuck that thing is called. I can prove it. And she's sitting there on the phone telling me that Paris is further away than Huntington is. Huntington, you got to take all these country back roads to get to. Huntington's not a straight shot. Paris is a straight shot from Camden, Tennessee to Paris, Tennessee. It's a straight shot north. You can't get lost. And it ain't 40 miles between the two.
Wow. Yeah, there's no arguing. No. Yeah.
Then she wanted to argue with me again. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. You are wrong. She wanted to argue with me that she was right. I said, look, I just proved to you twice that you was wrong. And you're still telling me I'm wrong. She's gone senile. She's senile. She cannot be wrong for any reason whatsoever. Sad. She just can't be wrong. I don't get it.
Sad. I know people like that. It's ridiculous.
I think what it is she doesn't want to admit how much money she spent on this stupid ass truck. And the only reason why she spent this money on this truck is because of my damn brother. She wanted to put it to my brother. She wanted to fix the car up fancy and then give it to my daughter, which is fine. But she's not the one that needs the car. Oh. She can't drive the stick. I'm the only one that knows how to drive a stick, but she's giving it to my, oh my God, I don't even, look, she's an idiot and I'm done with her. Trust me when I say she can't see this, she doesn't know anything about this. She doesn't know who you are. She can't find this channel.
Right.
But I'm fucking done with this bitch because the narcissism, the egotistic, I'm just done.
Just don't.
There is no
more.
No more. Yeah. The only reason why I'm having anything to do with her is because of the truck.
Right.
That's it. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna go back to Tennessee here in. It's gonna be around next week. It's gonna be around the 14th, really right?
Fix this time because she's done this to you before.
Yes, she has done this to me before. I have no choice. I have to get the rest of my shit out of her house. I want to be completely done with her. I want all my shit out of her house. I want it all gone. I never want to talk to this bitch again. The only thing that I want left, well, really the only thing that's going to be left is a storage facility, but it doesn't have any of my shit in it. It's got my daughter's stuff in it. It's got my son's stuff in it. And it's got my nephew Eric's stuff in it. So if she gets rid of this storage shed, there's going to be a lot of shitty grandkids that she's going to have to face. But my stuff, it's gone. I am done with her because of her bullshit.
Wow, and that's sad. That's sad for her. She's gonna regret that.
She never wanted me in the first place. What the fuck does it matter to her? If she had any sense in her brain, she would have treated me fairly, not favorably, fairly. Instead, my brother could go through her house. Literally, I watched him fucking do it. Steal her fucking blind. Invite his buddies over for a tattoo party. His friends going through taking all her antiques and shit. But you know who actually ruined that house? It wasn't Sean. Oh no, it was Jessica. Despite the fact Jessica wasn't even living there, she was in Kansas or possibly maybe even in Germany with her husband at the time. This bitch is nuts. I'm sorry. I have a problem with my birth giver. Come on, B. That was funny.
It was funny. A nail. I almost swallowed the nail in my mouth. Yeah.
Let that bitch rot in her own filth that she made herself. Math is real, but if you ask her,
no. 2 plus 2 is 22.
That's right. 22. Yeah. Because it was 22 for my mother, so it has to be 22 for you
oh my too. God, it's like that. Hey, have you ever heard the joke about the butt roast?
Oh wait, did you say butt roast?
Pot roast.
Pot roast. No.
Pot roast. No. Whatever. Roast. So the kid asks the mom, Mom, why do you cut the ends off the roast before you put it in the pan? Well, I don't know. My mom did it. That's the way my mom did it. Well, why did she do it? Well, because that's how Grandma did it. Well, why did Grandma do it? Well, we don't know. So the little kid goes up to Grandma and goes, Grandma, why do you cut the ends off the pot roast? Is that some tradition, some old, family recipe? No, I cut the ends off because that's the only way it's going to fit in my pan.
Yeah.
I heard that, and it's true. So you're just stuff. You just
for
do
no reason.
stuff that your parents do because they did it, and that was just it. There was no questions asked. When you started asking questions, and when Nancy got in trouble, children are to be seen and not heard. Don't question. Don't question the preacher. My favorite one to question.
Yeah, I often questioned my mother on just about everything.
Why? I mean, like seriously, why?
Well, yeah, because
why
I mean,
does it have to be that way?
They'd punish me. They'd put me in a corner, and then they'd leave me there for hours and hours and hours. At the time, what I didn't know is they would put me in the corner to punish me, but then they would go smoke and get high and forget that I was even there.
God.
That's what's really going on.
Wow. You know what's really funny is like they tried to punish me, but it didn't work. Okay, I would sneak out my window, do what I was a bad kid. I was the rebel.
Oh my God,
seriously.
No. Do you know what my parents did when my sister and brother did that? Tied them to their beds.
Oh, let them try. That wasn't going to happen because I was a spoiled, rotten little brat. Because of what happened to me, my mom compensated in a lot of materialistic ways instead of dealing with the problem, which was
that's what my mom did too, but in a different way.
Long story short, it's like if they would have sat me in a corner, that would have just given me more and more time to think up more and more shit to ask. Like, why can't I be a poet? Oh, because you'll never make any money. Okay, Edgar Allan Poe. Well, you have to be dead. I said, okay, but it's something that I want to do. Oh, well, like everything was like worthless. Well, my son was growing up. If he wanted to friggin' use every single one of Grandma's curlers to make a scorpion in the middle of the living room, have at it. If he decided he was decorating the room,
anything. I mean,
but what I'm saying, encouragement. Well, sure, if that's what you want to do today, that's fine. You might not want to do it tomorrow, but that's fine. If you want to do it tomorrow again, that's fine. Just encourage whatever. It's like when he was leaving college, he goes, go ahead and yell at me. I said, why would I yell at you? I said, you got a full friggin' ride to one of the best colleges going. You don't own a dime and you got a 2-year college education. Why would I yell
Yeah.
at you? I'm proud of you. I said, I'd be proud of you if you're flipping burgers. If you were happy flipping burgers, I'd be
Some
proud
people
of
are.
you. You
Yeah.
know, some people are, they
Yeah.
love it. I said, if you would be happy digging ditches, whatever. And he knew how I felt about the military. Okay. So when he told
Mm.
me he joined the military, I knew he was waiting for me my head to
It's
explode.
a kaboo.
No, for real. I mean, like he looked at me, he goes, well, I joined the army. And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, in the cavalry. Listen to this. This is my intelligent son of 60 something IQ. I joined the cavalry, Mom, but we don't ride horses anymore. And I
No,
looked
they
at
don't.
him. I know that. He looked, that's what he said to me. It's kind of like asking for a KFC in Kentucky. Okay, I'm sorry. But duh, how old? I said, how old do you think I am? I said, I know. He goes, and blah, blah, blah. So he said, I need you to talk to my recruiter. So I had to call the recruiter with whatever information because he was still, he wasn't married yet. So I was his whatever beneficiary, right? Before he married.
Beneficiary. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
his wife and everything. So he goes, I just want to tell you about your son. I'm like, oh my God, here it comes, right? I said, the only thing that I'm worried about, like in my head, was like the psych test. Okay. Because
The
I thought
psych
that they
test.
wouldn't let him in because if he said some of the shit that he says, they would like, but I'm like, but he's too smart for that. And he really wants to work for the DOD. I said, okay. He goes, your son, number one, took the test in record time. We've never seen anybody go through whatever the test is. What is it? 3 hours, maybe. He did it like half the time. He said, but that's not it. His scores were so incredibly high that we offered him every single position and he picked cavalry. I said, exactly what is he going to be doing? And he said, he told me a little bit about it. What they're actually scouts. So they go out and they mathematically do like place the soldiers. And I'm like, he'll be brilliant because he's a mathematical genius. And they'll be in tanks. And I'm like, oh, better. He
Oh,
gets to blow things up. Fuck yeah.
he's a
And the recruiter
tactician.
just goes, I see where he gets his attitude. And I'm like,
Brilliant. Okay.
yeah, he's
See,
brilliant.
because here in Leavenworth, there is a tradition of Calvary. That's the reason why I was like,
Really?
that's kind of interesting. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the home of the Ninth Cavalry here in
Okay.
Leavenworth.
So
Now,
he's in
yeah.
Texas. He's in no wild. He's not. He's with I think the wild horses. But wild horses
Oh, he might
also
be like at the home of the Rough Riders then, because that's kind of cool.
something 65 9 brigade maybe. I don't know what's the so there's a soldier which is my son, right?
Uh-huh.
Then he's part of a troop, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And the troop is part of a brigade.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how that goes.
No, a troop is part of a brigade. Yeah. No. No. Okay. Wait a
Isn't
minute.
it okay? So
Is he
wait.
army? He's got to be army because he's
He's
cavalry.
army. So he's a soldier, but he's a
A troop?
gunner.
I don't know about a troop.
He's
I
a
know
soldier. He
there is
was I don't
a
know. He just did 6 years. He just signed up for another 6.
I'm
So I
trying to
know he's
tell
up
you.
there. I know
I'm
my
trying.
son.
Yeah, and I'm trying to tell you. It's
Yeah.
like he's in a platoon.
Right. Okay.
Okay. And
Platoon.
then they're part of brigade.
Right.
Okay. And then the brigade is part of, or oh, no. I'm sorry. Whoops. I'm so sorry. No. I skipped one. Sorry.
Okay.
Platoon, company,
Company,
brigade, battalion.
battalion, and then that makes up the army in whole.
Well,
Because you
there's
have like
multiple battalions in the army.
right, right, right. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So he's with the whatever cavalry, scouts, whatever. Now he went to tank gunner. He's like, yeah, I shot top gunner, and I'm like, oh my god, that he's like, yeah, no big deal. That's how he is. But to me, it was
Huh.
like right on, fuck. That's something to be proud of,
See, that used
Because
to be
yeah, this
11
time I
Mike,
blew
but they don't
everything
have
up.
that no more. They changed the 11 mics to Bravos.
Okay, so he's not
So that's kind
there,
of
but
odd.
he's in Texas. He's
But
in El Paso at Fort
Hood.
um no Briggs.
Oh, Briggs. Okay.
Okay, he was at Fort Hood, but he's only been deployed twice. That's why I'm thinking he's um
He's only been deployed twice in
yes.
6 years in
Yes.
the Army. Lucky
Yes.
motherfucker.
I why?
What do you mean, why? My
No, I'm
husband
just
was
saying.
in the military for 1 year
I
and they
know.
had him deployed 7 times.
Right, but this is
That's
what I'm
what I'm
saying
saying.
about Steven. This about my son. Whatever. Half the world knows that that's my son anyways. Figure out which Steven it is. There's a lot of Stevens.
There is a
And
lot of
believe me,
Stevens.
and there's a couple with his last name, trust me. So there's a few of them out there. Anyways, and his last name is not my last name, so don't even try that. Anyways, so what I'm saying is, even when he went to college, it was a working college, and they 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 designate jobs, right? So when we
Uh-huh.
went for his initiation, right when you're going in, what are you, a junior, I guess, or freshman,
Uh-huh.
right? When you're going into
Uh-huh.
college, the guy
Freshman, yeah.
behind the counter looks at him and goes, "How did you get this job?" He got a job in the in a very tough department. You have to be a senior with like high honors to get this job. And I looked at him and he looked at me. Blessed, I guess. A very good job. So he got all that um, at college too, along with what you call it, engineering. Okay, but so if he hasn't been deployed, he must
And he's
raise
not part of the Army Corps of Engineer. That doesn't make any
not
sense, V.
I don't know because he
Well,
doesn't tell me a whole lot.
oh,
He can't
okay.
tell me, like, he couldn't even tell me where he was going till he was there. He would not send pictures, nothing. It was only till he was leaving he took a picture of the sign as he's leaving that country. And I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
well,
he's a
if it's an
stickler. I don't,
overseas deployment, that generally speaking, they keep to the silent thing. But if he's in the
yeah,
States,
no, it was overseas. But my whole point is that's how he is. He's very rule following, very much a stickler on shit. You know what I'm saying? Very
uh-huh, I get it.
yeah. So I'm just
Yep.
thinking he's been promoted a couple times is what I'm believing, you know. It's I don't want to be I untied the apron strings years ago, okay? And I
Mm,
don't want to be the meddling mom, and believe me, it is hard as hell to do because I miss my kid like nobody's business. And I miss my daughter-in-law like nobody's business, but I just stay out of their lives, you know. Um,
mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
have my ways of
Right.
getting information, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I can, you know what I'm projecting out into the universe is I projected out his wife for him. No lie.
Hmm.
No lie. He gave a little girl a teddy bear when he was little, and the girl came back to school the next day and said that she put it through the shredder. He is the sweetest child ever and has had nothing but bitches just do him wrong. And I said, "You wait till you get to college, you will find the love of your life." And when he came home on Christmas break, he goes, "I can't wait to go home and get my cookie pizza." I
Cookie
said,
pizza.
your cookie pizza? Yeah,
Uh,
well, I kind of got a girl. And then
uh,
all I did was boom, go on his Facebook, find the cutest girl. I said, I know who it is. Yeah. And happy. I am so thrilled for them, you know,
hmm.
but it kills me every day, you know. That's what
I
I'm
wish
saying.
Darth Haster was here. Sorry, V. I've been
He's what's going on?
okay. Well, I had an issue. Um, you know how you've been saying you wanted to learn how to play D&D?
Yes,
Okay.
really
All right.
bad.
Really bad. See, okay. Well, um, when was it? It was a like a week ago or something. Me and my daughter were talking about my nephew. Well, I call him my nephew. Okay. But he is my ex's youngest. Okay. So it would be my daughter's half brother. Okay. But I have a very close relationship with Charlie. And I try to keep the family, well, I try to keep that family and this family at least mildly connected, because it's not fair to put adult drama on the relationship of the kids. You know what I'm talking about, B.
Oh God, please! I've made that mistake. Trust me.
Yeah.
Not good. No. No.
Yeah. All right. So, but one of the family traditions is, well, at least for me, is to teach D&D to the kids. Okay, that's what that's one of the things that bonds us as a family, which is I've been talking to Divine Source about that, and I'm like, look, I know I'm not supposed to be doing any pulp culture, but there are some things that I am unwilling to let go of, and I'm coming to the idea that some of this geeky stuff that I'm supposed to be staying away from, I think I'm only meant to stay away from it for a little while, and then I'm supposed to go back to it. Okay, I really do feel this. Huh?
Was forever mentioned?
It was the words were until further notice.
Okay, that forever. Okay,
and right, but that being said, well, I was talking to my daughter, and she's like, Charlie is an only child for that family unit. Okay, and he's been coming over here because he and Lorian have a very close connection too. There's a funny story about that. When he was really little, she was 16, okay, and she decided that it was time for her to explore sex, and I had a little bit of a blow up about that, because the sex that she had gotten caught with was not protected. Okay, that's why I blew my top. I will fully admit, I fucking Fujiyama mama. I just exploded.
Right.
Because I was not on my watch. I was not going to have a teenage mom. There was no way. So I took a lesson from the Cosby Show way back in the day. Theo thought that he was going to be a grown-up, okay, and he was telling dad and mom what to do, and he's a grown-up and he can do whatever. And so what they did was they confiscated everything in his room and told him that if he wanted any of his stuff back, he had to buy it back, and in order to buy it back, he had to do chores, and he got paid. Okay, all right, well, so what I did with my daughter was I gave her 2 weeks of being a single mother with Charlie. There was no vacation. There was no babysitting. She went to school and she came home, and Charlie was on her hip the whole time. And at night. And at night. There was no relief. You want to know why I blew my top? Single motherhood is why. And so for 2 weeks, Charlie was attached to Lorian. Okay? That not only taught her that she didn't want to be a single mom, and went to great lengths to protect herself from that, it also created a bond between her and her half-brother. So he, even though he's the only child over at his house, he comes over here once a week when she's off work, and they hang out. Okay, this is quality family stuff. I'm like, yes.
Oh no, not quality family stuff on Chit Chat.
No, I know, right? But
people won't know what to think. Kaythia, what's wrong with you?
I'm very family oriented. There is a reason why I'm of the Nordic pantheon. I'm very family oriented. Okay, so Lorraine and I were talking, and she said, well, Charlie wants to come over because he was coming over every other Saturday. Now he wants to come over every other Friday. So he's over here once a week, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Friday. He wanted to come over to play games. And I looked at her and I said, well, why don't we get a game together? Why don't we, And she goes, I don't think Charlie knows how. And I went, uh-oh. Is it time to teach Charlie D&D? How old is he? He's 10. Yes. He's actually a year or two late on that. So now we've got this thing on Friday where Charlie is going to come over, and last night was the first night that we went through, the first bits of, how to play D&D. But the thing here is, the way that I teach is not the way that is taught online and by other people. And I did not know this until today when I went to go research and do some digging of my own, because I was looking for a pre-made, a pre-generated level 1 human fighter. Okay, because that's your basic Joe. That is the basic of the basic Joe. You cannot be any more basic than a level 1 human fighter. Okay. Now this is great to start Charlie out because he's very young. He doesn't need the overcomplication of character creation. So when I went looking for a pre-generated, a pre-made character like this, I couldn't find one. It doesn't exist. You have everything else except that. And that is ridiculously stupid. In the tutorials that I even watched, they all start out with, well, let's create a character first. No. Get off. Downvote, thumbs down, move along. Video after video, website after website after website starts with character creation. This is a no. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Oh my God, stop doing that. Character creation only comes after you learn how to play the game in the first place. Okay, because I'm going to ask, do you know what flanking is, V?
No, I know nothing about the game. Can I start with Charlie? Seriously,
no, seriously, that's how people should start, is like Charlie. Okay, because I don't patronize gear down the way that I talk for age. I don't do it because that does not help the student. You don't talk down. You talk at around a 10th grade level, no matter what age they are. Because that's another way that they're learning. They're learning by observing and listening to you. You're the example. As the DM, I'm the example, not just to the new students, but also to my players. There's behavior that is acceptable and there's behavior that is unacceptable. I've been playing this game for decades. All right, 30, I've been playing it a long time. Okay, shut up. Anyway, the point I'm saying here is the things that they're teaching are geared towards older adult and older adult males. And it's just wrong. All of it is, I'm saying that it's wrong. Okay, game mechanics. I've got a kid looking at me going, well, why, what is this? Why am I rolling this D20 all the time? What's the D8 for? What's the D4 for? What is that for? Why am I adding these extra numbers? What is these numbers on this character sheet? What do they do? How is that applied in game play? Hey DM, why are your monsters hitting me? Why are they getting bonuses? Why are they getting these extra numbers? What do you mean I'm flanked? What does that mean? This is all basic stuff that the adults have forgotten. These kids don't know. They don't understand. And I'll tell you what, if you tell a 10-year-old, if you hand a 10-year-old a player's handbook and say, read this, they're going to throw that book down at your feet and they're going to go, I'm not going to school to learn how to play a game. Because the overwhelming information is just going to throw them off. So if you can imagine a 10-year-old building a character and then learning how to play the character and then learning where the stuff is on the character sheet and then learning how to apply it all in just 3 gaming episodes, nah, bitch, it ain't happening. This kid is going to walk away like this and they're never going to come to another game again. And we're not talking about, dumbing it down. We're talking about the slow introduction of ideas. The initial stuff that isn't even in the book that that they should learn right off the bat. Number 1, turn off your fucking phone. Whether you're an adult or a child, if you're in my game, you better turn that fucking phone off. You better have a piece of paper and a pencil in front of you. This is old school analog. Just don't. Because I'm not fighting Facebook for your attention. I'm just not doing it. I'm not fighting Twitter. I'm not fighting TikTok. You're paying attention or you're out of my game. Believe me when I say I have had a whole decades full of that one. Here's another one I've had a big full decades of. Okay, back when I was DMing as a teenager, my players were guys. I'm just going to say that because this was back in the 80s. It was back in the early 90s. Girls didn't play. Or if they did play, it's because they're sitting there with their boyfriend.
Right.
Okay? Then I have to put up with them not playing the game, but crawling all over him, getting on his lap and kissing him and playing tongue tap. No, bitch. I actually stopped the game. And I said, get off of his lap and remove yourself to the opposite side of the room. If you don't want to do that, get out. You are not invited back to the game again.
Wow.
Because my players don't know what's going on. I know what this is. This is insecurity. This is about females and insecurity. Their attention isn't on them and they're sitting in a group and that makes them feel insecure and awkward. So getting their boyfriend's attention makes them feel secure. I will not put up with that behavior. End of discussion. I don't give a shit who you are. Get out of my group. And there were a couple of girls that did not come back because of that. Their boyfriends did, though. And I promise you, a couple of weeks after that, they were broke up. Yeah, because I pointed out, I said, look, I'm not putting up with that insecure bullshit. Get off this lap. Melanie, get out, get up and get out. You're either playing or you're not, but you're not going to be on his lap and fucking around. You're not doing it. I'm not going to put up with it. And I'll tell you what, it does up the confidence of females to remove them out of that situation, to force them to move to the opposite side. The girls who toughed it out actually improved their behavior. They improved their mentality. Okay, D&D, the game, the RPGs, it doesn't matter if it's Dungeons and Dragons or Sword and Sorcery or GURPS or the old TSR Advanced 2nd Edition or whatever. D&D is a teaching tool for a lot of different things. Manners, politeness, interpersonal interactions, economy, ecology, flora and fauna. I mean, all of this stuff can be taught through the game. Okay, you can tell I'm really expert at this shit because I've had, like I said, I've had kids of my own. I teach through the game. And if they want something, they have to figure out how they're going to get it. And they have to prove to me how they're going to get it. So if they want to be wealthy, because I had my son did that. He became a lord. He converted this poor town into a town of industry with his character. He came to me, I want to build a brewery. I want to build a bakery. Here's this. How do I do this? How do I get this town running? Well, you know what? Watch some documentaries about the Victorian era and incorporate that into your game. Find a way to apply that knowledge. But in order to do all of that, first, you must understand and be able to apply the game mechanics. Game mechanics, movement and action. What is a round? What is a turn? Well, what's the difference between a round and a turn? I don't understand, DM. What's going on? Why are you getting angry when I'm talking out of turn? I thought it was my turn. Why do we use pencils and not pens? Why do I need a piece of notebook paper? Because you're going to be doing a lot of erasing and adding. You need to know basic math. You have to know basic math, and you're using it all the time because it's
you had to say the M word.
Point minus that. It's not as bad as you think, V.
As long as it's not
you take algebra, 3 points of damage. Okay. You take 3 points of damage. Your rogue takes 3 points of damage. You have your max is 10.
Right, I got 6 damage.
3 minus 10. You have 6 hit points left. You're surrounded by goblins. This means you're in trouble. You are probably gonna die.
I actually downloaded something like that gave me a little scenario, and I had to pick what I was going to do, if I was going to storm the castle or if I was going to fight off the goblins.
Right, and what that's teaching you is the game mechanics, how the game works, what the dice are for, how to add.
But I wasn't rolling any dice yet. It was just like it would just give me a random thing.
It doesn't matter because there's just a character sheet can be overwhelming for a new player. Okay.
Oh,
and if you think the 5th edition is bad, you should have seen the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition or the 3.5 version. That got really complicated at the end. Okay. So I mean, but
so
now
which should I do? Which one should I do? Because I deleted that one, and because I was just like not into it because I didn't understand. I need to understand.
What you need is a pre-generated level 1 human fighter. That's where we start.
Okay, so I can, because right now until I can get this tablet up, I just have my phone. So I can download, there's several to pick from. I just don't know which one to pick from.
There is nothing to pick. There's nothing to pick.
The game, I'm saying, there's Dungeons and Dragons this, there's Dungeons and Dragons that.
It's all the same thing. It's all the same stats, regardless of what kind, regardless of what edition. Is it Ravenloft? It doesn't matter. Is it Sword and Sorcery? It doesn't matter. None of that shit matters.
Okay.
None of it matters. They want you to think it matters because that's how they make money.
Okay, and not like Dungeons and Tombs or something. It has to be like real Dungeons and Dragons.
No.
You know how like some games will be like almost the same but the name, they change like one of the names or something that's really not that game. You know what I'm talking about? Sword
and Sorcery 5th edition is exactly like Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition.
Okay.
Okay, regardless of what they want everybody to think, it is all the same. And there's no real way of making it different because it's in the D20 system. All the editions that are in the D20 system are relatively the same. There are a few differences to make it copyrightable, but that's it. That's all they can do.
Okay.
Hold on. I mean, that's why Gary Gygax had such a problem. Okay. And if anything, I have been told that my DM style is very Gygax. Okay. And I'm like, well, golly gee, thanks. Because, that's one of the founders. He founded TSR, which is Tactical Strategies Research.
Okay.
Okay. And it all started out with some math, but it has evolved since then and through different editions.
There he is. There you go. You called him. He's here. Hey, Darth.
Who is it? Is that Darth?
Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Lucifer. Oh, hey, Bill. It's Jedi. because he can't come on as Jedi because I think somebody.
Is that confirmed? We know for sure it's Jedi
Yes.
Bill and not somebody pretending
No,
to be
it's
him?
confirmed. I actually talked to him. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're good. That's why I left that one day. I wanted to make sure it was actually, no offense, but you know, evil lurks around the two of you.
Well, yeah,
Anyways,
there was that testimony guy that was freaking
yeah,
lurking around and
we
stealing
don't say that
identities.
word. We don't want to summon up no more no demons.
I wasn't.
Just kidding. Just kidding. He's not a demon because he's an idiot.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Demons
That
are
being
smarter.
said, going back to what I
Going
was
back to,
saying,
we're talking D&D now.
if you can find, and you should be able to find it, okay? But the thing is, I can't find it. And if I can't find it, I can't download it and print it out.
Okay, because now again, my struggle is not only with that, but remember, I have a phone, so it has to be downloadable for my Android.
It really needs to be printed out because you can't be on a live stream and be looking at the character sheet on the phone. It has to be printed out.
Okay,
Should be
he had the whole
printed out.
game. He had the game and the dice. Sorry that I don't have my glasses on, so it almost looked like Darth. He's actually with his friend in some part of West Virginia. So,
Okay.
but B knows
Darth
how.
can hook
B
you
would
up.
know
Darth can hook
too.
you up. Yes, Darth can hook you up with a level 1 human fighter.
Okay.
Okay.
B
And
could
I
too.
had Lorian brought me some character sheets that I would have shown you, except, well, she took them away again, so I don't have them anymore.
Kids, they bring them and they take it away. I don't know with them.
I know.
But
after you learn basics, you know, what things are on your character sheet, and kind of like run through a basic tutorial. Okay. Then what I do, because the next time, because I ran Charlie through a really basic quest, which was 3 goblins kidnapped some cows, and they had to go to a cave and they had to save the cows. Very basic, but that wasn't the point. The point of that particular game was to get him used to, when I say, okay, well, you need to roll your dice. Well, I shouldn't, as a DM, I shouldn't have to tell you which ones. You should already know as a player. The first die that you're going to learn, the dice that you're going to use, there's more than one dice.
Okay.
The dice that you're going to use most often is the D20. That dice has 20 sides, 1 through 20. 1 is always a failure, and 20 is always a success.
Okay.
Then your character sheet is going to tell you if you can add anything to your roll. So say, like, you want to hit a goblin. Well, I want to hit the goblin with my sword. Okay, all right. Well, you're going to roll a D20. Let's say you rolled a 14. Okay, all right. Well, what does your character sheet say about damage, or I'm sorry, about attack? All right, it'll say something like a +1. Okay, well, then you would add a 1 to your attack roll, which is a 14, which makes it a 15. Okay, does a 15 hit the goblin? Yes, says the DM. The 15 does hit the goblin. Now, how much damage do you do? Okay, well, let's give you just a standard sword. It's going to be a short sword. You are going to roll a 1d6. That means 1 6-sided die. Let's say you rolled a 3.
Okay.
Most character sheets will have, and on the damage next to the weapon, it'll say 1d3 plus 2. Okay, well, then, or 1d, I'm sorry, I get tongue-tied. It'll say 1d6 plus 2. All right, so you roll your d6.
You have to use one of your points to use the sword, right?
No.
Okay, I got that wrong.
Yeah, really wrong. There are no points in this game. I don't know what you're talking. Well, the experience points, but that's what you earn to earn levels. All right, that's a little bit more complicated. So we roll our six-sided die, and we get a 3, and then we add that modifier. Because on the character sheet it said 1d6 plus 2 for the damage of the sword. Well, that's a 3 plus a 2, that's a 5. So you do 5 points of damage to that goblin. Does that kill the goblin? No, because the goblin has 8 points. So the goblin now has 3 points left. But now it's the goblin's turn. So the goblin rolls a d20. I'm the goblin. The DM is always the bad guy. All right? So I roll. I say I roll a 12. All right?
Okay.
Does a 12 hit you? Well, that's where you look at your armor class. If your armor class is higher than a 12, I don't hit you. If it's lower than a 12, I hit you. Let's say you have an armor class of 11. It usually doesn't happen, but let's just say that it does this time. Okay. All right. So my goblin hits you. Now my goblin is also using a short sword, so I get to roll a 1d6 plus 2. So I roll my 6-sided die and I get a 2, and then I add the 2 modifier. That's 4 points of damage. Your fighter has a hit die of 10. That means the maximum hit dice, the maximum hit points that you can have as a level 1 human fighter is 10. 10 minus 4 equals 6. You have 6 points left.
Okay, so you have to, that's what I'm talking about, the points. So you have to use your points.
No, that's your hit health.
Points. Okay.
You don't use your hit points to pay for anything.
Okay. Okay. So if I wanted to kill the goblins, right? And I wanted to use the sword, right?
Yeah.
That's 1 point against.
No.
This. Okay, but I have to roll.
No, if you want to hit the goblin, you hit the goblin. You roll the dice. It doesn't cost you anything.
Okay, but for the roll the dice is to find out how much power the sword has or the said weapon has.
It's to find out whether or not you hit or not.
Oh, okay. So you roll the dice, and if it's a certain number, it's a hit, right?
Correct.
And what kind
it
of
also
damage
tells you
did?
whether or not you automatically succeed or you automatically fail. Let's say, for example, you want to hit the goblin and you roll a natural 20. You roll the dice and it comes up 20. You automatically hit. You don't have to add anything. Gotcha. Because it's an instant critical roll. It's called a critical roll. It's a critical success. And the goblin only has 3 points left. I could, as the DM, say, well, because you rolled so well and you got a critical success, what you did is you chopped the goblin's head off. See, that kills the goblin.
Okay.
Or I could say you chop him in half.
So the DM is the one that lets you know what kind of damage or whatever you've done?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
So I don't have to keep a record of a 20 is this and a 14 is that as a player, because my DM is going to tell me, oh, you chopped his head off.
You're going to keep track of your own character on your own character sheet.
Right.
I'm not going to keep track of your armor class. Okay, but I am going to keep track of the monsters.
How many numbers?
I keep track of everything else.
Okay. So when I roll the dice, and let's say I get on this dice, is it 1 through 20? Is that how the numbers run? 1 to 20? Okay, so I get a 5. I get a 5. Do I have to know what a 5 is, or my dungeon master knows where the 5 is?
Well, I'm going to tell you as a dungeon master, a 5 is not going to hit very much.
Right.
I mean, you might be able to hit a 20.
I assume that.
But
but I'm just saying, so I don't have to know what a 1 means, a 2, a 3, a 4,
no,
5.
You don't have to know any of that. No.
I just have to keep my warrior in line. Right?
Yeah,
and I have
your job
roll the dice,
know
and then
about
I
your
have
character.
to problem solve whether or not I'm going to storm the castle or go hide in the forest.
Correct.
Or,
a lot of it is practical thinking, critical thinking skills,
I really
problem solving. You know, if I tell you that you're trapped in a dark place, you got to figure out what you have to do.
Yeah. I like that.
And it's open-ended. I'm not going to give you any clues, you know.
Right.
Hey V, you are in a dark place. And that's
No,
it. That's all
because
the information I'm going to give you until you start to ask questions.
I gotcha. Now, do I have to use like health or something for questions or?
No.
Okay. So is there so many questions I get?
No.
Okay. So like when it's
Well, because
my
we're
turn.
doing because right now you're the only one playing. So there's
Okay.
nobody else playing. If there were
Okay.
others, let's say there's 5 people in the room with you, okay? You
Would
know
I
there
have?
are other 5 other people, all right? But
Yep.
each individual would take a turn. And when
Right.
everybody has had a turn, including me, that's called a round.
Okay, I
10
got that.
rounds equals
But
1 minute.
now listen, because we all know me. Okay.
Well, it used to be that
Do
way anyway.
we put a timer on V Star? Because I will ask questions until you guys throw me out of the game.
That's basically where the whole etiquette thing comes in.
Okay. Oh my God,
Okay.
etiquette. Okay.
That's why it's important to that's why
I'll have my own
I'm
timer.
saying what I'm saying is
Gotcha.
when you start to play, it is not important to learn character creation. It's just not. There's
Okay.
so much
more.
to
Yeah.
add character creation on top of everything that you're already supposed to learn. That's just fucking stupid as fuck. It's just stupid.
Yeah,
It's like taking a kindergartner and throwing them in a senior class of algebra or geometry and expecting them to know that A plus B equals C. No, man. That little kid's going to start crying.
Crying? That's when you did school and never go back.
That's my point, though. That's
I
why so many people get frightened off of D&D because they realize, holy shit, I have to read 10 books? No, man, I promise you, no. That's not how it goes. You do not have to read anything. Just let me take you through the paces.
Now, that's right up my alley because you know what? Sorry, people. Anybody can use a joystick and shoot a gun. I mean, it takes practice. Yes, it does. Okay, I know. But games like this take mind, and that's what I like. That I have to think about.
Yeah,
something.
if you're not focused, if you're not paying attention, if you don't know how to think things through, if you don't do problem solving, this is not the game for you. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a game of Uno.
Right.
But if you don't want to learn strategy, if you don't want to learn tactics, if you don't want to learn, your character can't walk 30 feet in a blizzard. It's not going to happen, dude.
Right.
Weather, flora, fauna, geographical locations.
Right.
All of that encompassed. And then you want to throw in all this extra stuff.
So you got
on top of all that, man, you got to start small. In my particular case, when somebody says that they want to start learning D&D, I don't even point to the player's handbook. I point to a pre-made, pre-generated character sheet, and I say, we're going to start right here.
You can give me the manual, and I can read it, and I'll retain absolutely no. I need to be told, okay, so you roll the dice, you got 1 to 20, just like we're doing now. Like what we're doing now. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, if you get, I want to kill the goblin. Okay. So I'm picking up, but I want to use the sword or whatever weapon. Right. And so, and then you'll tell me which dice, right? 1 to 20. What's the other dice? What? 21.
Well, they come in sets, V. They come in sets, V. Okay. So you've got the D4. Okay. That's the 4-sided die. You got the 6-sided die. You got the 8-sided die.
I get you now. So there's not 20 numbers on one dice.
Yes, there is. That's the 20-sided die.
20-sided.
Okay, let me go for this again. Let me try again. There is a 4-sided die.
How many 3s are there behind my name? Okay, it takes me 3 times to get something.
Let's do it again.
Yes.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Hold on. Let's do it again. There's a 4-sided die.
How many die are there?
There's 6.
There's 6 die.
Yes.
1 die is a 20-sided die from the numbers 1 to 20. We got that out of the way.
I think it's called a dodecahedron.
Okay. And that is what did you say that was? A D20, right?
There's a D20.
With
there's a D12.
Okay.
There's a D10. There's a
Okay.
D8. There's a
Okay.
D6 and a D4. Okay, now are you seeing a pattern?
I see the pattern. Okay, so D4 is 4-sided die.
Correct.
D8 is an 8-sided die.
Correct.
Okay, got that. So now the numbers. Okay, so I already got 1 through 20. Now on the 4, is it 1 through 4?
Yes.
And then on what's the next one up? A 6 or an 8? I forget already.
It's a 6. It's 1 through 6.
Is it
Those are the dice that you roll for Monopoly or the Game of Life.
Okay, all right. And then 8 is 1 through 8. The other one's 1 through whatever.
1 through 10.
Whatever. If it was D100, it'd be 1 through 100.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. That's simple. I got that.
Well, that's why the set comes with 2 10-sided dice. That's called a percentile. So if a DM or somebody would say, roll a percentile, you'd pick up 2 10-sided dice.
Instead of rolling the 1 20-sided.
Because a 20-sided is not going to give you a percentile, because a percentile is 1 through 100. And yes, you could go out and you could buy 100-sided dice. Those do exist.
Fuck that shit.
However, it's shaped like a golf ball, and the fucker just keeps rolling, and it rolls, and it rolls, and it rolls, and it never stops rolling.
Hey, by the
There's
way,
also
Bill,
30-sided die too.
I finally made it home today, and I'm just overwhelmed by just greatness that my neighbors did for me. In fact, I'm supposed to be taking her out to dinner. She's probably still watering the plants. She planted tomatoes and all sorts of shit out there. I can't wait.
Oh, did she? Yeah. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, Bill asked how you were.
Yeah, okay. I'm fine. Yeah.
So we're just chit-chatting. This is interesting. Okay, so now, why are there so many dice? Why is it D4 to D20?
Because this is the reason why. All right. Okay. Now, I want you to think about a Scottish castle, and I want you to think about all the weapons that are in that Scottish castle.
So if I want to use
swords, you have little swords, you have big giant shields, and you have little tiny shields. You have all of these different kinds of weapons. Now, does a big giant claymore Scottish sword, does that do the same amount of damage as a dagger?
No.
That is the reason why you have so many dice. Well, it's one of the reasons why you have so many dice.
Now I get it. So if I want to use the knife, the knife is going to tell you what dice I have to roll to use the knife. A D4.
Well, it's going to be mostly damage. It's going to be damage.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, if I wanted to use the friggin' whatchamacallit, the guillotine looking thing, the big
claymore, the big Scottish claymore, you're looking at a D12 claymore, minimum.
A 12, and that's but the dagger,
that's going to be like a D2 actually.
Okay, so then
or now, a D3, a little bitty tiny dagger is going to be like, it's going to be 1, 2, or 3. And what you do is you roll a 6-sided dice and you chop it in half.
Okay,
so if I roll a 6, it's a 3. If I roll a 4, it's a 2. That would be half of 5 is 2.5. You round, it would be 2. It would be 2 points of damage.
Okay, 2.
It would be 2 points of damage. Yeah.
So let me get this right. Okay, so then a dagger is a D4, right?
Basically, let's just say a D4.
Let's say I get a 3 on a dagger. So
you would do 3 points of damage.
So I'm going to take 3 points, or I'm giving 3 points?
No. You're giving your opponent 3 points of damage.
Now, do people play as the goblins and people play as? Okay.
No.
Who are the goblins?
Let's not overcomplicate. We're not going to overcomplicate this. Okay. In future episodes, yes, as you continue on as a player and become more advanced, you could create a character. Now, listen.
Okay.
And when you advance, you could eventually create a character that is a goblin or an orc or an elf or a
Okay.
dragon or whatever it is you want. But right
Ooh,
now, we're not
okay.
overcomplicating that.
No, no, no.
Right now,
But,
you are a level 1 human fighter. So the
okay.
answer
So,
right now is no. I'm the
so
one that
who am
does
I
all the
fighting?
monsters.
So
Okay?
who am I? Who am I? Am I just
You're
fighting
fighting
against
me.
the book? I'm
You're
fighting you.
fighting me. Yes, you're fighting me. I'm the
I'm
game master.
fighting
So I
you, and
say,
you're the dungeon master. Who's my master?
no,
Or
no,
you're
no, I'm
just the
not your
dungeon
master.
master.
I'm just the game master. I am the
So
game
you're just
master.
the
I
game
I
master
am the
until I get whatever I need to go to the next level and evolve my beast.
I'm always going to be the game master regardless
Okay.
because I'm going to tell you what's going on. And you're
Right.
going to
But
tell
am I
me what
always
you're
going to play
doing.
against? Am I always
Well,
going to
you
play
don't play
against you?
against. It's not like against. Okay?
Okay.
If I say your character is being attacked by 3 goblins, I am not attacking you. I am
Right.
the
Right.
game master. I
Okay.
am not attacking you. The
And you're
goblins
not
in the
manipulating the
story, in the
goblins.
game, they're the ones that are attacking you because they are the challenge. They are the
Right.
obstacle.
And
They are
that's
the
just
adversary.
so that would just be the roll of the dice, basically, is what is happening.
If it's a random encounter, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if you take up a
Okay.
quest,
Uh-huh.
which is about going up against a tribe of goblins, then of
Uh-huh.
course you're going to be attacked by goblins because that's the quest.
Oh, when can we play?
You need to have that pre-made level 1 fighter first.
Okay.
You really do need to take a look at that first. You have to have the numbers. You
Butterflies,
have
where
to
are
have your
you?
dice. You
Probably
have to have your
sleeping.
dice.
Oh, I have to have. Damn, I could
You
have
have to
taken
have
his bag of dice. They were right there. And they were in this really cool bag, too.
They're
Sorry.
always in a
Sorry to
Crown Royal
sound.
bag.
Oh,
If you're
like
a
a
D&D,
little.
if you're an advanced D&D player like I am, it's not unusual. If there is a Crown Royal bag on the table, it's full of dice.
No, this
It's
one
just
was a
that's how it
little. It
works.
looked like a little. Yeah, I know about Crown Royal bags. They're awesome for all sorts of things, but especially Crown Royal. No, but he had it was like a little wizard bag. It had like little wizard hats on it. Oh, it was so
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love this bag. Don't touch that bag. My dice are.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
see.
oh,
He would
okay.
have he would have quested to Kentucky and busted
Oh,
down your door to get
look,
that bag of dice back.
look. He wasn't. He went with
Don't
his
mess.
friend. He went
The,
with
th-
his
the
friend
thing,
to go visit a friend down in I don't know a couple little cities over, right?
okay,
And B went with me to take me home, right? So when I finally got like sorted, I realized I was missing of course, my sparkly bag again. I'm missing my but there's something that happened, so I made a phone call, and we're in a group on Facebook, so he comes on too. So here's me and B going, so and so, so and so, snapping their fingers. Hello, are you listening to us? I said, you can't get away from us. You try to go down to this town. B's at home, I'm at home, and you're the only one that's not at home. And here we are, right in your face. And
yeah.
he's like this. Okay, I gotta
Now,
go.
here is something that no book will ever tell you, and this is another reason why introduction to D&D tutorials are so important. Okay, all right, and the way to teach. No book will ever tell you about dice etiquette.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh. You know how athletes have that lucky pair of socks that they never wash?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Players
honey, I'm from
have
Vegas. I know about dice etiquette.
okay. Well, then okay, fine. But it also deals with bags. Okay? D&D players are just as superstitious as gamblers.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay? And it is a thing where you will find that to replenish the juju of your dice, like say for example, you can have a bad night and all you roll is bad, 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 bad. Okay. It's not unusual for players at home to put dice into their bras or into their pants to replenish the dice's juju. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Now, this is not, again, this is not this
Girl, I
isn't
already
meant to
know.
be weird. It's it's about energy, and
Yeah.
it's just not unusual for this to happen.
Right.
As a matter of fact, one of my players, Daler, he's he was trans. Okay, well, he is trans. She is trans.
That's
I'm sorry,
nice.
she Daler is she. Okay, but she got her first bra here, and the reason why she got her first bra is because she was over here and we were playing D&D, and she just kept rolling terrible 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, and all of us are like, okay, just can you just pick another dice? And she's like, no, these are all the dice I have. Okay, all right, then we need to replenish their juju. She says, well, how do I do that? Well, there's only one way to do that. You put it in your bra or you put it in your pants. Well, what's the
Mhm.
difference? Well, generally speaking, girls keep their dice in their bra and guys keep their dice in their pants. Well, I
Hmm.
identify as a girl, she says. Okay, well, then you need a bra. So we produced a bra for Daler and he put it on. She put it on. I've known Dana Lurt before. Okay, it's been a long time. But she put on her bra. She put her dice in her bra, and after a few minutes of those dice being in her bra, it started to get her dice rolls got better.
Hmm. That's
You tell
interesting.
me. Yeah, well, you tell me.
Yeah.
Dice etiquette. That's another reason why you don't touch another player's dice, is because you don't know where
Oh
they've
well,
been.
hell no. Hell no. And you don't pick up the dice when it's rolled and hand it to them. No. Don't you touch my die. No,
No,
seriously.
you don't.
A crap.
No.
I played a lot of craps. Okay, a lot of craps. And this one guy told me once. He's like, you know what? You just know who's going to be a good roller. You just know. You could tell by the way they pick up the dice and hold the dice in their hand and look at it. Because I was asking him, I'm like, I'm here for friggin' 3 hours rolling the dice, making this guy a fucking bunch of money. I didn't know what I was doing. I just picked up the dice. I'm like, oh, this looks like fun. And I'm like, ooh, I didn't know you could change dice. You can change dice once. So I changed dice because I didn't like it was sticky or something, or some alcohol was on it, or I don't know. I didn't like it. But I just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. And that's what he told me. You can tell. You can tell because I got pissed off. Don't touch my dice.
Well,
Seriously.
it's a little bit different from gambling, but
Well, I
generally
would
speaking, you
assume
don't
so.
touch other people's dice without
No,
permission. I mean, you don't. It's not like a draconian thing,
no, but it's not.
But
It's the same as you don't look at my cards when I'm playing blackjack and you're my friggin' whatever friend, partner,
no.
whatever.
The
No,
thing
not
with
looking
D
at
and
my
D is,
cards.
the thing with the D&D is it's a very cooperative game. Okay,
Okay.
you're not hiding your cards, you're not hiding your abilities. You're unless you're an
Don't
evil
need a poker
character and you're
face.
trying to pull one over on the group, which has happened. But for this particular discussion, the
No.
point is cooperation. Okay,
Okay. Like
because
I don't need a poker
this isn't
face.
about winning. There's no such thing in
Okay.
D&D as winning. You can't. There's no such thing, because you can't win at life. You're going to succeed at certain
Huh.
things and you're going to fail at certain things. That's what it comes down to.
Okay.
Yeah. And my family are, they play to build.
To
They
build.
they come into a world with many challenges. Let's say there's a ruined castle and there's barbarians running amok, and there's a dragon burning down villages and livestock and whatnot. My
Uh-huh.
players will come in. Okay, they
Mm-hmm.
cooperate. They get rid of the conflict by either
Mm-hmm.
negotiation or political, military, economic, business, trade, whatever. They find ways of
Uh-huh.
resolving the conflict in the area to increase the quality of living in that area, and then they build cities.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, my son built because he had a his character
Yeah.
was an aristocrat with a title, but he had no money. His family was poor, so he took up the sword and he went questing because he wanted to rebuild his family's title, his family's legacy. He wanted to reinstate, his lordship. So
Hmm.
he went to an area, and not only did he resolve conflict with the thieves guild, and he chased out a bunch of barbarians, and there was a
Hmm.
very confused young green dragon in the area. There was an old manor house that he rebuilt. He used his quest money, every single coin that he got, but with this character, by doing these jobs and earning these rewards, was turned back into the town in an economic way. He was even building shops and things that weren't even in any book. Like, for example, the pickers. Now, a picker is like a second-hand shop. And back in Victorian times, they would buy little nubs of candles or little bits of cloth. They would buy one shoe. All this loot garbage, that's what the pickers are for. So
Hmm.
so Lord Tom, he was rolling around picking up all this garbage, and he was reselling it to the pickers in town. It was his shop.
Right. Law of the
Yeah,
garbage truck still works today.
exactly. Because all this stuff, there aren't any factories. There's no huge, machines or looms.
Hmm.
This is a fantasy setting. I mean, in Tolkien, you don't see these giant factories, pulling out
Right.
pottery and stuff. It's the local blacksmith, the local baker, all of that. Okay.
Okay.
Even this small piece of cloth took hours and hours to weave. It's worth money, even if it's a
Mm.
halfpenny, which is one fourth of
Right.
a penny, by the way. All right.
Well, we don't want to mention Tolkien. It's a
We don't.
no.
Why?
No. Have you not heard?
Apparently, I have not heard.
Didn't Tolkien write The Hobbit?
The Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't hear about Lord of the Rings, and apparently.
Apparently, I didn't. What the hell?
Yeah, no, never mind. Because I don't know the whole story. All I know that's up next on the hit list.
Whatever. They
Yeah,
can't
so
touch
when you said
Tolkien. That's all
Tolkien,
there
I'm
is
like,
to it.
yeah,
No,
everybody's
yeah,
talking
they can
about it,
talk
but
all they
we're
want.
not. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not.
I'm not jumping on the hype train.
No.
I'm gonna
So,
put it
okay,
like
so
that.
there's a difference about going on a quest and going a Viking, right?
No, there's no
I
difference.
don't
It's
see
pretty
the
much the same
difference
thing.
if
There is no
you're going
difference.
to use the money to build up or to improve something, right?
Well, that's called world building.
Okay, world building. But
That's called
now,
world building.
okay. And then what else can you do? I just want to go kick ass
I,
on some goblins.
well, that would be a
I
murder
just want like
hobo,
that
and that's pretty
problem
much frowned
solving.
upon. I
Okay,
mean,
well,
you can be a
let me
tank, but
okay, let me explain more. So when I was doing that, and they were giving me these scenarios, me and Rutherford or whatever, and wants to hide in. We're being chased by whatever's goblins, and he wants to go hide in the forest. And I saw a castle, and whoever my character was saw a castle, and so it was to pick: do we go hide in the forest and and hope that they don't hear us, or do we climb over the castle wall? Or the third option, do you turn and
okay.
fight fight them?
Well, okay.
But I didn't know, like I'm saying, this is like the first time, so I guess I lost. Like there was little points, there's like little numbers up top, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a red and then a green or whatever. And I guess
Uh-huh.
that was a bad choice. I should have hopped over the castle wall, because I got my ass kicked. So I guess I lost health.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. So then the next
Well, if
time,
you're outnumbered.
Well, yeah, but it didn't say how many there were.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That
So
must have been just the DM's way of trying to get you inside the castle to further the
right. Oh, but I didn't.
storyline.
Yeah, and me being the way I am about reading, uh, you know, being
Uh-huh.
dyslexic, and sometimes it's hard for me to read stuff and comprehend right away. And so I'll just like, okay, well, whatchamacallit? What are the choices? Okay, no forest. No, I'm not going to hide in the forest because you're going to bound to make a
Uh-huh.
noise, and they're in the forest. So why would I hide in the forest where they're at? The castle. There was something wrong with the castle, though. It looked shady or
Okay, this is
something.
the reason why you would hide. Okay? You would hide
Uh-huh.
in the dense underbrush to let them walk past you so that you knew how many there were.
Ah, yeah. See, I wasn't thinking like that. I was just like,
Yeah.
fucking, just go
Well,
kick,
that's where your
go
tactics
down
come in.
fighting. Yeah, go down
That's
fighting.
see,
That
that's
was
not
stupid.
always going to be the answer.
No, and either is
Sometimes
this makeup. Oh, oh no, you don't
um,
even know. Try this; it'll look really good on you. I look like a friggin' sparkly hooker. Oh, speaking of
jumping
hookers,
over the castle wall
yeah,
probably would have landed you in a group of them. So that
right.
would
See,
not
I
have
don't
been,
know if
yeah,
that's their castle. Yeah, so that's
yeah.
why I was turned
Or
around.
even something worse.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. See, your option to hide would have
Uh-huh.
actually been appropriate, especially at level 1. Now, if you're a 13th level paladin with a magnificent sword and a grand shield, then yeah, I imagine you would want to. I shall fight the villains. Rah! Okay, but also you're a
Yeah,
13th level paladin too, so
yeah, but you gotta like, yeah, I'm like a level one thinking like I'm the friggin' general.
correct. Maybe jumping in with 2 feet isn't exactly the right thing to do if you are
No.
level 1. So keeping in mind what you're doing and how you're doing it and how you're playing it and what you have. Like I said, a level
Yeah.
1 human fighter only has 10 hit points. If you are by yourself and you see 6 goblins coming at you,
Uh-huh.
well, you only have 10 hit points. Those goblins, 6 goblins, that's a whole pack. They're going to surround you
Yeah.
and kill you, is what's going to happen.
Right. Right.
And here's
Huh.
and here's something else. As a 13th level paladin, okay, I could take on
Okay.
6 goblins like that. Not a problem.
Huh.
A dragon, on the other hand,
Huh. Oh, well, then how do
or a
you get to, okay,
troll. A
here's my
troll is
next
even worse than a
question.
dragon.
So here's my next one. Okay, so I know about the dice pretty much. I know about like kind of the scenarios. So how do you go from level to level? How do I go from a
That's where the
level?
experience points come in. Okay,
So
so
when do I
let's
get
say you defeat a goblin. Okay, now the DM can do it a couple of ways. Okay, they can give you experience points as you play, or at the end of a session, they'll give you a total amount of experience points, or they can wait for a story arc to be over or a location to be cleared out before giving you experience points. So, for example, let's wait until she comes back because this part's pretty important. I don't want her to miss this bit. So, how are you, everybody? Doing all right? +5, y'all? Yeah, so check me out on Kaythia Star. I'm doing Bad Batch videos. My last one was episode 6, Decommissioned. Watch You can find me on YouTube as Kaythia Star, or you can find me as Star Arcana 555. Although that one's kind of in hiatus at the moment because I'm kind of spiritually dead. So I have nothing. Tarot cards don't work. It's just right now it's a spiritual dead zone, like literally. Okay. It's just, oh good. I'm glad to hear that you're doing all right. Let's see. I was actually gonna do a video on my channel to talk about this D&D problem, but my world building videos that I made like 2 or 3 years ago, they still have really asshole reviews, and quite frankly, they have really awesome content.
Hey, I'm back.
Hello, butterflies.
There she
Okay,
is.
Okay,
There she
so
is.
experience points. Okay.
I got
this,
girl. I got 4% battery, just so you know.
oh.
And I'm plugged in, so I don't know my battery.
Well, you
my phone.
should be okay if you're
I should
plugged
be
in.
okay for a couple more minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
I don't have a
experience
quick
points. Let me run it
charger.
down real
Okay.
fast. Okay.
All right.
All right. So let's say, for example, your character is where he is. Okay. He's in a forest and there's a ruined castle. Okay. All right. Now, your character beats up the goblin and the DM says, okay, well, I'm going to give you 3 experience points for killing that one goblin. Okay. All right. That's an option. The second option is that you go through the castle and then time runs out, but you're not finished. Okay, so there's another session. But at the end of this session, the DM says, okay, well, you've gone through this room and that room, and you've killed this many and this many, and you've done this and that. So I'm going to give you 100 experience points. And then in the next session, you would get more experience points. Or the DM will say, okay, well, you didn't finish the castle, so I'm not going to give you any experience points. When you finish the castle, when it's cleared out and you finish the quest, then I'm going to give you your experience points. So you clear out the castle, you retrieve the whatever, and you return it to the person who gave you the quest or whatever. And then the DM says, okay, for doing this and returning the quest items and for doing all of this stuff, you get 500 experience points in total.
Okay.
Okay, so it just really depends on the DM, and it depends upon what you're doing it, how you're doing it, what the campaign is. It just depends. But experience points. Okay, so you're zero experience, level 1. Well, when you hit, I think was 500 or 600 or 1,000. Wait, sorry, no, 5th edition. 5th edition is when you hit 1,000 experience points. I think 500 or 1,000 experience points, you get level 2. And there are certain things that happen at level 2. You become stronger. You get things are unlocked. Special abilities are unlocked. You get to do certain things at level 3. You get, and then or at level 2. And that's how you build. That's how you level up, is with experience points. Is you meet a criteria. You get 1,000 points for level 1 or level 2, and then 2,000 experience points for level 2. That kind of thing. But it depends on your character, which is the reason why I am kind of reluctant to talk about it, because that has to do with character creation, and that's something that you don't need to know right now.
Right. No.
Yeah, right, because it's overwhelming. Well, if you're a bard, you've got to do this, and if you're a wizard, you got to do that, and if you're see how complicated it can get.
Yeah. Yeah, because obviously, but with different things, you're going to have different skills. Yeah, that just gets too confusing. Why would you want to build a character first when you don't even know the rules of the game?
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. Because I can't tell you how many players I've had who have had different races other than human. And they get to a point where, let's say, for example, they enter, I say, okay, there's a dark cave. Well, then they start, well, you know, we got to be able to see in the cave and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay.
Right.
I don't say nothing. I don't say nothing, because if you have a whole party of elves, and this did happen. I had a whole party of elves. Elves have low light vision. They don't need torches in a dark setting.
Aha. Now, how would you have known that unless you knew that?
Exactly my point.
Thank
So I've got
you.
all these beginning
Okay.
characters. I want to have a dragonborn, blah, blah. No, no. You don't even know how to play the game.
Right.
And when you have races, those races, these races and these classes, they give you special things that are unique to your race and your class. If you don't even know how to play the game, you're busy remembering your armor class. You're busy keeping track of your hit points. You're busy keeping track of your money. You're busy adding and subtracting. You're not thinking about, well, my character has low light vision. You're not thinking about that. That is for a mid-ranged level player. Okay? If you're a beginning player,
right.
level 1 human fighter. Level 1 human fighter. That's it. That's all you get. And it's not
because
like I'm punishing you. It's because I want you to learn.
Well, it's not like you walk into the military and become a CEO or whatever.
Or a captain right off the bat. Yeah, I know. And
yeah.
I am so, and Tarkasia doesn't have dragons, because I was 16 years old when I was absolutely fed up with these dudes coming in my game. Yeah, I want a half dragon, half demon, half giant. No, we ain't doing that. Well, that's because they're wanting power. Right. You know, the bigger, if you're a dragon, you have to have a breath weapon, right? Well, they got real disappointed when I told them, just because you have dragon blood doesn't mean you get a breath weapon.
Right.
Or what really grinded their gears when I first started out.
What if dragons are
hold
stupid?
on, the second edition books, okay, the second edition TSR books in the DMG had this really awesome section about mania. Now, so what I did was, as I told my players, I said, you know what? If you want to be a half dragon, half demon, half giant, blowing fire out your ass, you can have that. But I get to tell you something that you have to have. One thing. Yeah. And they're like, okay. And then they draw up this character, and they think this character is going to be doing everything. And then I tell them, okay, well, your character has a fear of, one of them was actually this dwarf, right? Drew up this dwarf character. I said, okay, you get to have whatever you want. Since you're going to complain about how you want this badass character, I'm going to give you whatever you want. But there's, you have to accept my caveat, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. And they're like, okay. And they run off and they build this badass character. They come back. Here's my character. I said, okay, you can have that. But now you have to add that you have a fear of trees.
Oh, shit.
And then I started the adventure in a forest just to teach him a lesson. That character couldn't do shit.
See, B knows. B knows about D&D.
Yes.
I was telling Kaythia earlier when we're talking about Dice B, I said, damn, and I know right where his dice is, in a cute little bag. And I probably would have lost my life.
we weren't talking about hit points, we were talking about experience points.
Yeah. But anyways, I gotta kind of wrap this up. I still gotta go get dinner because I'm not at Butterflies and being spoiled.
Oh,
And
oh,
yeah, she
yeah,
spoiled me. Oh my God, she can cook, girl. She can cook.
yeah.
And I'm down.
I really need.
Sorry.
I really am legitimately having problems finding a pre-made, pre-generated level 1 human fighter. I actually am having difficulties with that. So if you could talk to Darth about that, getting me one that I can actually download and print, because a lot of the ones that I'm finding, I can't download them and print them. They want
Wouldn't
me to
there be
jump through.
one
I got to
in?
sign up for this and register for that and pay for this subscription
So
and
wait a
shit.
minute.
And then I go onto the official D&D site, right, of Wizards of the Coast. They've got every fucking type of fighter you can possibly fucking think of, except for a level 1 human fighter.
Okay, well, wouldn't that stuff be in the box?
Yes, and the thing with that
He's got the
is it got
box.
lost. It got lost.
No, I'm talking about Darth has the box.
Has the box of what?
The game.
There's lots of boxes with those games.
Oh. Well,
I'm talking
okay.
about online. He's not going to send me the box. I'm talking about
No, but
online. Online, you
wouldn't,
can
wait,
find.
I'm talking about wouldn't the instructions or whatever piece of paper you're looking for be in that box that he could go copy and mail it to?
No. I need like a
Okay.
dozen of them now. I need a dozen.
Oh.
I need a dozen level 1 human fighters right now. Because when I talked about teaching Charlie how to play D&D, and okay, so Lorian had some people text her that evening. Okay, just randomly. All
I'm
right,
wondering if there
they're
would
like,
be on
"Hey,
his.
Lorian, what you up to?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm at home, and we're teaching my brother how to play D&D." Suddenly, I have a dozen people going, "Oh, I want to learn how to play." And I'm like, "What?" Yeah, Lorian's like, "Yeah,
Okay.
ding, 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 ding." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" She's like, "Nope, all these people want to learn how to play." And I'm like, so I have
Okay.
literally, I have almost a dozen people. Sort of just
Okay.
happened.
So I'm on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm on Discord. I'm on Darth's D&D, but I think his is Cthulhu.
Yeah,
D&D dash
he's probably
Cthulhu
run.
and talk. Okay.
Yeah, that would
So
be. I don't want an eldritch. No,
right.
he knows
Okay,
what I'm
so
saying.
here.
He knows what I need.
Okay. I'm typing in Kaythia Star.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's just
Needs 100
one.
level
No,
1.
not 100. No,
100.
not 100. No, not 100. I just need one that I can download and print out 12 times.
One level 1.
Level 1 human fighter. Basic Joe. It's a basic Joe. 5th edition. And like I said, as an advanced player, I'm shocked that I cannot find a basic GI Joe. I don't know why butterflies. I don't know why you're talking about that. I
Hey,
don't know why she's
so
talking about
you
hit
need
dice.
a one level 1 player paper.
No,
Okay. A 1
no.
level 1 because I lost you. I'm typing it
I
out.
need a level 1 human fighter, downloadable and printable, sent to my email.
Downloaded and printable.
And then also add in there 5th edition.
Hold on.
Please.
Printable. I've got my phone on this thing. And okay. Kaythia Star needs 1 level 1 download. No. Kaythia Star needs level 1 right?
Yes.
Level 1, download and printable.
Nope.
Sent.
Level 1, human. Fighter.
Human. I knew I was missing something. Okay, human. Okay.
Fighter. Fighter. Level 1, human fighter. Downloadable, printable, 5th edition, please. Because I can find them, but I can't download them and I can't print them out. And I really don't want to handwrite out a dozen of these things. I just don't have, I just don't want to do that. Darth will understand why. Pre-made, pre-generated. Oh, that should have probably been in there too. Pre-made, pre-generated. That way it comes with all the traits and the features and shit on it as well. Oh, fuck. I forgot to say that.
I'm still here. I can hear you.
Okay.
When I'm over there.
So,
okay, so you said you needed to add something. So Kaythia Star needs.
Yeah, pre-made, pre-generated. Yeah.
Hold on.
Pre-gen.
Go back just over here.
Pre-made.
Pre-generated.
Just put pre-gen.
Okay, pre-gen.
Yeah.
Pre-gen.
Level 1 human fighter. Downloadable, printable, 5th edition, please.
Okay. Okay, let me read it back. Kaythia Star needs pre-gen, level 1 human fighter, downloaded and printable 5th edition, please.
Downloadable.
And thank you. I did say I said downloaded. Downloadable.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then sent to my
download.
Sent to my email. That way I can try to find somebody.
Is that a word? DOWNLOADABLE?
Yeah. Okay. Downloadable. Yeah, that means I am able to download it onto my device and then open it. Because you can download anything you want from anywhere, but can you open it? Can your device read the information? That's why downloadable is a word. Then you can download and you might be able to open it, but sometimes you may not be able to print it. I've been around. I don't know why I don't know. I have no idea.
What did you say?
I don't know why I don't have a clue what she's talking about or why she's talking about it. We're not that.
Because I told her we were talking about. No, I told her we were talking about D&D, so maybe she just wants to talk about that part of D&D.
Well, we are talking about D&D, and I am open to talk about D&D, but she needs to focus on our topic, and our topic at the time she started that was experience points, not hit points or hit dice.
Right. But I was talking about, we were talking about that before. She's just behind. Okay, so here,
well, I'm going to pretty far behind.
Read you what, before send this, I'm going to make sure that this is right, okay? Kaythia Star needs pre-gen, level 1 human fighter, downloadable and printable, 5th edition, please, and thank you.
Yes.
Sent to her email. Now, do you want me? I don't want to put your email out there unless you.
No, it's fine. It's KaythiaStar@gmail.com.
Okay.
Trust me when I say I have had my email out there hovering
Is
in
it
the ether.
all small?
I get no spam. I get nothing. Nothing. Nobody sends me shit. Nobody sends me shit.
Okay, so again, Kaythia Star or Kaythia Star one word?
No. Kaythia Star is all one word at gmail.com.
Okay. Gotcha. It's the
No, we're
friggin'
not talking
admin.
about. No, we're not talking about that.
I was talking about the fighter. It's all good. We're getting ready to shut down. I'm down to 2% anyways. God, we've been on, oh my gosh, 5 more minutes. And we'll hit the 3s.
Yeah.
So, all right, so that's where I need to start. So I'm going to do my research. I'm going to see if I can't get some of my gamer friends maybe to help me with that too.
Don't do any research. Don't do.
I'm not going to
that.
research. I'm going to see if I can get that paper.
Yes, get the paper.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yes, get the paper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you can,
That's what I'm saying.
if he can send you the same thing that he's sending me, the level 1 human fighter,
right,
then we both have the same piece of paper, and the only thing different that will be on that paper would be the name that you name your character, the gender that you assign to your character, and that's it.
Oh, can I be a helicopter?
Oh my God, no, you cannot be. Oh my God, hey, that's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious.
Can I be a Black Hawk, please? Do you mean the hockey team or the helicopter? I think I want to be the hockey team. Fire. And on that note,
no,
folks,
not for V. No research.
no, I'm not doing any research.
But see if Darth can send you that same character sheet. It's essential that we have the same character all the way through.
What game does he have in the kitchen, Butterflies? The one that I found and I asked about. It's still on the kitchen. It would say what edition and what it is.
Oh, he's a player, so that could have been. It could be anything.
And you know what?
It could have been books or
and
rips.
Butterflies' church. Check this out. Their church plays D&D.
I'm not shocked at that. I did have a Christian friend. He was very, very faithful. In his world, when he played D&D, there was only one religion, and it was Christian. There was only one God. So all of his clerics and all of his priests,
and they're Lutheran,
were Christian.
So that would make sense.
Yeah. So the ancient days of the 80s, where RPGs are satanic, that's no. Everybody knows that was all propaganda. It was.
I'm
all
so glad
lies.
that I was born in 1962, and I was like outside at the beach and playing other games than inside the house. I mean, I would like to play Dungeons and Dragons. I'm just saying. I'm glad that I kind of missed that whole.
Well, I'm only referring the game to Dungeons and Dragons because that's what everybody understands is the name of, and it's basically what it is it's a D20. It's an RPG with a D20 system. Okay, because there are RPGs out there that are a D6 system or a D10 system. The mainstream is a D20 system. Okay. Now, I don't mean to try to confuse you, but it is important for you to know that if you are playing, to look for a D20 system. Okay. Because that is what is the majority. Okay. Think of it as the D20 system being white bread.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The question was, is which edition?
Right.
Okay, because there's there's the original, which nobody has anymore unless they're really, really geeky and they want to pay out the nose, which is the brochure, the pamphlet that was released in like 1972 or 73. Butterflies mentioned it earlier. But then it goes into first edition Dungeons and Dragons. Then it goes into second edition Dungeons and Dragons. Then there's advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Then there's advanced second edition Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my
Then there's
gosh.
3.0, which was very short lived. Very, very short lived. I have a 3.0 book, but it was so full of errors that they immediately came out with a 3.5 system back in, I want to say 2000, 2001, maybe 1999. I'm going to say between 1998 and 2003, they came out with a 3.5 system. And we've been playing that system ever since. And then just in the last couple of years, well, and then it went to fourth edition. Fourth edition, nobody liked fourth edition. I have fourth edition books only because somebody threw them away. They were garbage. They are simply collector's items. That's it. There's no usefulness in them at all. Then there's the fifth edition, which has just come out in the last couple of years. Okay, so there's more than 5 editions, and that's only Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, we have GURPS, we have Rifts, we have Cyberpunk, there's Spelljammer, Sword and Sorcery. What else? There's just Ravenloft, Greyhawk. Come on, Breed Butterflies, you can name off some. What else? Let's see. The Crystal Shard series took place in the Forgotten Realms. The Forgotten Realms. Dark Sun. What's the one with Dritz? Is that Forgotten Realms too? I think the R.A. Salvatore one is also Forgotten Realms, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say that it is. Yeah. I mean, there's even spin-offs. I mean, I used to have the Menzo Baranzan book. Now you can't find that one anywhere anymore. It's not a 3.5. It's a second edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Menzo Baranzan book. And I know you wouldn't know what that means. It's very specific to Drow, which is dark elves. Okay. So even within certain editions, there are subclasses of things like Waterdeep. You can play an entire campaign just in Waterdeep alone. Waterdeep is like London for a particular fantasy realm. Player handbook. Okay, that is true. That's very true. Now, which player's handbook is it? I just named off like 10. All right. And there's even some that don't even come with books. They're called homebrew. And they can, and they have, there was one that was going around that was One Piece. It's based on the anime. Dragon Ball Z players. I mean, there's just all kinds of, there's all kinds of editions, all kinds of games. And of course, Darth's favorites, which is the Cthulhu, which is the Eldritch. I want to call them the Eldritch Scrolls, but I think I'm wrong on that one. But basically, it's based on the Lovecraft stuff, and it's like a mystery investigation type thing. Okay, all right then. I don't know what happened to your sound, V, but I'll close it out for you. So this is the end of this stream. More to come later. Hold on. Where do So there's V Star, and I'm Kaythia Star, and we'll see you in the next live stream. Take care, y'all. +5. Bye bye. I wonder why she could.